Yeah, you need an external webcam that you can point around and stuff. So, if you can't get that, then just use us over here, and just correct us. It's just like telling a chess player where to move the parts for you. So, okay. What else? What else? The roster?
The roster, yes.
Mm-hmm.
How will I be able to provide you with character sheets?
Email?
Do you have a PDF of the module?
Yeah. True. Which module are you running? Is this Lost Mine of Phandelver?
Lost Mine, yes.
Yeah, that's what we're running today. We have multiple copies of everything for that.
Oh, so it's no problem then.
Not a problem. Yeah. Well, that's part of the beauty of standardization.
And we have special maps for it too.
And we do have special maps already made instead of battle maps that we can just lay down and you can just watch on the camera.
I am going to create.
They're full color maps.
I'm going to create these sheets for here eventually.
What are those?
The tents.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the ones for Phandelver sitting right here.
Oh, you made some, huh?
What I would like to do is remove the logo and make them a little more generic use so they can be used across more systems possibly.
Of this?
Yeah, the tents.
Okay. This works out really well.
Yeah. But wouldn't it be nice?
This one, it doesn't have a logo. It doesn't have the D.
Good. But one that works with AIM as well as D&D, for example.
I'm using the same ones.
I've used this one with AIM.
Okay.
It's just got the armor class, hit points,
Okay.
passive perception, speed,
Does
and
it have their condition?
no.
Does it have?
Doesn't
But it
have
has
anything
a blank
colligible or
space.
anything like that.
Yeah. And
It
does
has
it have
a
anything
big blank space.
Okay, well we would want something we want to make this we want to make it consistent for all GMs.
Okay.
So we want something that has their shadow points, their condition, their fellowship focus, those kinds of things.
Right.
I've been using this square for shadow points.
Right, but we need to make something consistent.
Okay.
So that's good. That'll be input as we're designing it. That'll be good. Does anybody have you have a document of that?
Yeah. I
Can
have
you send
3
me?
different kinds I
Can you send them to me so I can look them over and
Yeah.
whip something up? Dan, anything else?
No, nothing. That about covers it.
Excellent.
Thank you very much, Paul.
You are very welcome. Yeah, that's part of why we standardize those. It makes it a lot easier to address those issues with being remote. And hello and welcome to RPG Research. I'm your host, Hawk Robinson, and today for our Game Master Training and Workshop, today's Game Master of du jour, Game Master du jour, is Danielle. And what's
Good morning,
going on with
guys.
Twitch here? She's going to be doing a practice run through of Lost Mine of Phandelver. She's come back from a long internship and just need a little bit of refresher to get things back in the groove again. So we'll be doing that. This is a training session, so there may be interjections to give feedback to the GM. Also to be aware, so we have Riley here. Well, he's one of our player archetype specialists level 1. Player archetype specialist level 1 get to play the troublesome or distinctive traded characters that GMs get to experience from time to time or frequently in their groups. For example, the murder hobo, the rules lawyer, etc. So from time to time, I may be passing Ryan and John as well, because all of us are going to be taking turns being player type specialists. For Dan, you just go ahead and play your best and just be a helpful player. With it being remote, it's a little trickier for her to pick up on what type of player archetype you're being. So you just go ahead and just be a helpful, cooperative player and just do your best.
You
Okay.
still need the maps?
Just the one,
What map?
the cave, because I figured.
Did you
we got
copy
the
that, Dan?
front of Death.
Copy that.
Okay. So
Downloading the
The Kragma.
Good.
Yes.
I'll
Sorry,
be
I
playing
don't know
today,
names
but getting
very well.
feedback. So we'll be doing different types. John and Riley, I'll be giving them post-its to be different archetypes. We're refining that process. This is still a work in progress as far as standardizing our training process by using player archetypes. we're still working on the training manual and what exactly some of the archetypes are. Don't worry, Riley, I'm going to stick with some of the really clear ones,
Okay.
rather than the ones that are more vague, like Munchkin and stuff like that. So whether it's cheater, rules lawyer, things like that, it'll be pretty clear. You won't know which one it is, and I may change it up on you, but I may stop you at a certain point and say, okay, who's being what kind of archetype, once I think that it should be clear enough to you. Obviously, I won't do it like 5 minutes into it and go, okay, which archetype are we reading? It's too early to tell. But when I think you should be able to pick up on it, I might pause and go, okay, who's being what archetype?
Yep.
And then we might say, okay, how would you address that? And then we might shift it up on you again. So it might change every 15 to 30 minutes. You just have to see how it goes. The game will still continue, but who's being what, so that you get a good variety of trying to recognize. But you're going to need to identify. I will ask you. So who's being what, and hopefully we're making it very clear. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. You excited, Riley?
Sure.
Finally get to do this after all the observation time.
Yeah, it's gonna go slow.
It'll be awesome. You'll do fine. And remember, it's okay to be a little over the top with it, especially when we're early in the stages here. You don't have to be super finessed about it. You can be really obvious about what it is. That's okay.
Is everybody signed in?
I have to get the roster out of the bus, so I'm now on multiple reasons. I gotta get to the bus. So
I have the map.
Okay. So
I'll have it set up by the time you get back to the roster.
All right. And what else did we need from the? So I'll just bring the kit, right?
I don't even think we need the kit. We
What do
have
we
a
need?
screen hanging out, and I think I have one.
What do we need?
I have the. I was just gonna put up the screen, the general screen, but just so the only thing I ever
read
use
mine
is cover.
I let mine to Shane, so.
Okay. So you got the maps. What else did you need?
The maps,
Okay, that was it.
pretty much.
All right. But
The only other thing I use is cover.
Okay,
because
so I just
I
need to
can't
get the
remember
roster
that
book
one,
then.
but I can write that down
Alright.
from the book real
all right,
quick.
we'll get the roster book.
And then we just need the characters. So, Dan,
Bye,
thank you. Do you have a copy of the character sheets for Mine of Phandelver?
Lost Mine of Phandelver.
Yep, I have them downloaded right here.
Okay, so just go ahead and choose one. And then
Yeah, what the other players have chosen first.
Nobody's chosen anything
nobody's
first.
chosen anything first. I just figure it would be easy if you choose one.
So
real
you
quick.
pick the one you actually want to play.
Okay.
I know Dan doesn't have a preference, and did you pick one already?
No.
I don't quite have a preference. I just want to be a non-spellcaster, and I don't wish to limit other people. So that's it. Just a non-spellcaster.
Okay, so wizard or cleric?
He said non-spellcaster.
Oh, non-spellcaster.
So,
I thought you were being ironic.
There's two fighters,
And
obviously,
rogue.
and a rogue.
You like bows, swords, or sneaky?
I think I'll be sneaky this time.
Okay, you're the rogue. Halfling.
Yep.
And that's the name just ran out of my head. What?
What?
What's the name on the?
There is none. These are all blank.
You get to assign what you want.
Oh, okay.
That's me. I know my name.
What's your name?
My name. Let's just go. My friends call me Egg.
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 Okay.
EGG.
Okay.
Exactly.
You're a funny one.
All right. And then she gets to choose character.
Oh, you can find your minis in here.
Yeah, I can do that. I know where they are. They're all in one back, or at the bottom, because we did that last night. And this is like, you're going to be in this corner. Everything I need.
I will play the cleric. If nobody else wants to play the cleric. Hawk, you have a preference?
I do not have a preference. I usually wait till everybody else gets what they want.
Everybody's trying to do that. And
We're all trying to out-polite each other, right?
yeah. So, no, you first.
I'll take a wizard.
Okay. I'm going to try something different with you.
Okay.
What are you?
Dan, do you know what your volunteer ID number is?
Yeah.
I don't know it by heart.
Okay, and then let me look it up here. Remember, it's always in our staff contact page. It's been moved over to the new site. So if you're ever logged into our website, you can go to the staff section, and there's a section there that lists everybody's contact info privately.
Right. I'll go look it over.
It's the road.
Yeah, so you're logged in, and then on the far right-hand corner menu, there's staff, and then staff contact list, and that's how you can always pull that up. If you need anybody's contact info or anything else, that'll be there in a simple table.
Dan, I will make yours, but will everyone please fill out a character tent real quick so you get familiar with your character sheet. Not that I have to worry about that with you guys, but that's what I've been doing. So your character's name, this is what I need. Something for you to distinguish your character's name on this side, and then on this side, character's name, initiative, AC, which is armor class, passive perception, and then your name. Okay. And for, I think you guys are all familiar, but passive perception is hidden right here.
Yeah.
I always have to tell new players that.
John, do you see one in there that says Hawk's Notes? Because whenever I like to mark up the book, there's one I want to stick with. Oops, sorry.
You didn't put in the kit, right?
No, it shouldn't. Better not, because the kit has its own. Unless it got slipped into there.
You got so many players' handbooks here, you're gonna get them all.
Maybe it'd be with a ton of Post-its in it.
That one.
Okay, then does it say?
I don't found.
Yeah, see here, Hawk's Notes version.
Okay.
So that's what I need. Thank you. Because that's the one I write in. I'm trying not to do that too much to the others. Question of erudition also spent so long in the country. Casual answers. Alright.
Alright, let's see here.
I drew an egg on your stand. Not that you'll get to probably see it, but it's there.
You can imagine.
Did I get everything else that I needed? You have all the players.
Danielle?
Where will we on that? Is that Yoda?
Yes, it's Yoda.
Who for do you think it is? Hmm?
Looking for one more goblin-like creature, and I'm like, Yoda? Okay.
Always amazes me with 5th edition to see a wizard with 8 hit points. That's just wrong. It's too many hits. Twice as many hit points as any wizard should have.
Things
You
get
people with
hard.
your point inflation. Hello, Dan in Spokane. Because we're Dan in Brazil.
So we know which one he's
Welcome,
playing.
welcome.
Folk Hero.
What's left?
Didn't see a response, I thought.
So here's one little nitpick that needs to be resolved. A response to what?
On Discord, I was asking if it was still at 9.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's always 9 to 12 until we move it.
Okay.
Which you'll see announcements everywhere when we move it.
Okay.
So here's something that needs to be resolved.
Mm-hmm.
The tents don't match the order of the character sheet
Yeah, I saw that.
for the stats.
Oh, I've always just done it in order. Shoot.
Constitution, dexterity, or backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that needs
It's
to
only
be
one
fixed.
on one of the copies that I have.
Yeah, well, it needs to be fixed.
Okay.
So if you can give me this back after, no, I made a note of it. So
I sent you one of them
okay.
already. I'll have to search through my stuff for the others.
Okay.
Otherwise, we can just copy it. I mean, I have full sheet copies right now.
Yeah, but I wonder how many times that screwed things up if you use those.
Yeah.
So
Well, I don't necessarily use those. Like when I asked for, so usually I leave this. These are the important ones, and task is for the
okay, well you got C and C. So which is con and which is charisma? I'm assuming charisma's at the bottom.
yeah.
That's what I assumed.
Okay. I mean that should be the case, but without another. So these are little tweaks we need to make.
Mm-hmm.
So because that should be CH. That should be CL. Okay.
Yeah.
Just making observations here.
And yeah, these are not mine. These are
Yeah, you
actually
wanna give
produced
Dan a
by
tent,
Wizards of the
please?
Coast. Oh, sorry.
We don't want to be exposed to the elements. This whole thing about exposure.
People die from exposure.
Exactly, artists.
People die from exposure.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the other kit that you might be interested in looking at. It's a lot better, and I just need to find the PDF, which I don't.
Okay.
But I do
Taking
have
too long.
this is or your thing.
When I was doing, I wanted to,
Like your spell list.
yeah, as the cards here.
Yeah.
I might the order is correct.
Okay.
There's mentioned this
Here,
one.
I'm just gonna give you a copy of each.
It's a different one.
No. The one I was handing for you, Hawk.
No.
This one,
his
the order's
is
correct.
Correct.
Yeah. So one here. Look at the sheets. One of them is correct, and the others are wrong on the whole sheet.
Where did you get these from?
Wizards of the Coast.
Those are not official Wizards of the Coast. Those have been made by somebody else. And Wizards of the Coast
No.
allowed them to be put on the thing.
On their website.
And nobody has pointed out to them. Nobody's pointed out to them
That's
that
hilarious.
that one's out of order.
Probably not.
There's the three
Does
different
anybody
kinds.
put any ranks in perception anymore these days?
None.
Am I the only one?
Well,
Hey, Riley,
based
too.
off of our race and our background, we may not be getting it as a proficiency.
But those are the three sheets of character tins that I have access. I have
Okay.
found, and the
And
one
then
I
you need to
really-
make one for Dan as well. So why don't you ask him questions about his character?
Here.
I did it based on
Okay, you
his.
did it. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. All right.
Oh, I forgot.
Spell City DC. Forgot.
That's a problem.
Remind me in 5th edition what a spell save DC should be.
Where are you?
It should be on your character sheet.
So it's
Was it my primary stat?
Spell
or-
it would be
It's going to be a proficiency plus your intelligence mod.
plus 8.
I don't usually have
So
to fill out
it's
all of it.
15.
Or is it already factored?
Yeah, this isn't going to work.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Well, I can't find all the
Your
spells
intelligence
Oh,
plus
it's added to it.
because
alright.
these things
It's
aren't
already
in order
done.
anymore.
Yeah, so
Okay,
that's your
so they're
save.
messed
But it's
up.
going to be the same.
I
as
use
your
them.
save,
So it's
Yeah.
save
Then I lose them.
that plus 8.
May I
Is your
suggest
spell
a
save
good
DC?
old-fashioned lookup?
Okay.
Yeah.
With the
So
You cannot suggest an old-fashioned lookup to substitute for the thing that's supposed to make it better. No, you cannot go backwards to improve what I'm trying to do. Boy, that's the silliest person I ever talked to.
Okay.
I will fix it later for future references. But I thought I'd provide the spell books, spell cards for the characters. Meant to do it this morning, but my son decided that my time was better spent listening to it, just gibberish.
What is that? What do you mean?
He wants to come up and talk about things that I'm not wanting to talk about at the moment
Well,
while I'm trying to focus on things. And the things he wants to talk about are irrelevant to anything.
all right. Well, I understand that all too well. Joys of parenting.
He wants to watch the Super Bowl for the commercials.
Okay.
People do.
I usually find them online afterwards.
I was trying to tell him that was a better plan.
Yeah.
But no, it's a tradition to waste our lives.
For 10 minutes of video project.
A little salty this morning, huh?
He made me salty.
There you go. Thank you. My character's name is Erudicus.
Okay.
The name is McCarrigan.
Everybody have their voice ready? He hums a lot for his character.
Not like that. He only hums. Makes him speak.
That could be a thing. And I apologize for the laptop, but in a workshop mode, I'm working on updating eval and everything. Normally this is bad form to have any such screens, but obviously,
We have lots of them.
yeah, we got a whole studio of them here, so we have to just learn to cope with that.
I've learned to ignore it.
Good on you. Not an ideal environment for deep immersion and flow states, but we do what we can.
Yeah.
And if you can do it here, then you'll be that much more prepared in the other environments.
The
They have plenty of
problem
their own
is,
distractions.
I didn't realize until the other time, until the kids' phones kept going off, that they were actually discording each other. At the very end, they were talking about how they were discording each other the entire time.
Yeah. That's why I always make them put their phones away.
I didn't even see them.
It's part of our code of conduct. Have you read our code of
Pass
conduct?
it back to me. I forgot to.
Danielle,
What?
have you read our code of conduct?
Yeah.
It says very explicitly, put your phones away. You know how I am about this. I mean, the research shows that you're gonna have more behavioral issues, and they're not gonna get as immersed if they've got screens. It's just a fact. So that's another one to be really like, hey, everybody, put the phones away, put them on mute. You can turn them off, great. A lot of them can't because of their parents, but put them on vibrate, stick them in your pocket, don't take them out. And they're gonna try to sneak them under. You're like, hey, come on, don't do that. It's disruptive to the game, folks.
Yep, but I've been so,
Yeah, you got to make yourself a checklist.
that I didn't even see it.
Yeah,
and
I
then
would
they were
recommend
talking about how they were
making it-
discording each other.
Yeah. Welcome to the modern times. But it's just another in a long line of reasons why they need to put their phones away.
Yeah.
They'll always have that. And they'll use it to cheat, and they'll use it for all kinds of things, and you just make them put them away. And then if you see them trying to tap under the table, go, hey, hey, hey. And if that doesn't work, then you get their attention by throwing things at their character.
Okay.
Not at the players.
Correct. I don't mean literally throwing things, but for example, oh, you weren't paying attention and you walked into a pit. Oh, you weren't paying attention and you tripped over a tripwire. Oh, you weren't paying attention. Make it clear you're doing it because they're using their phone.
Attention.
Yeah, exactly. And like, oh, I can pay attention, and I'm like, nope. Put the phone away. So, and it is okay for that to single them out publicly. Some of the
Because
things I avoid the shaming type stuff, but that's one that it's also an example for everybody else. Like, ooh, I don't want to. Okay, I put my phone away. That's one where it's okay. It's minor enough, but it's important enough to hammer on. So, and again, you got to be consistent. So, yeah, big one. Because it will totally change their level of immersion.
Are you starting to go by Daniel, Dan? Because
Yeah, so you got Dan in Brazil and Dan in Spokane. Who wants to go by which? So you going by Daniel?
I'll go by Daniel.
Okay, so Dan in Brazil, you're gonna go by Dan, okay?
Dan, Daniel, and Danielle.
Sounds good.
Good.
Let's go.
But you're the GM, so.
may I get a roll call of people's names because I rarely ever use the video settings, so I don't recognize everyone.
Sure, let's do it for everybody. So start with the GM. Well, introduce yourself.
What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing.
We're going around saying who we are and what we're playing or
Okay.
being. So.
My name is Danielle, and I am the GM today. John.
I am John. I am cleric number 1. I'm a hill dwarf cleric named Cowdergen.
I'm Riley. I'm playing a human fighter noble named Barbar.
Barbar?
Barbar?
Are those elephants or something?
No, it's a barbar.
No, that's Babar.
Babar. Okay,
Yes.
different
He's
accent.
Barbar.
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 Is that where you like to go?
Any relation to Jar Jar?
No, not related to Jar Jar. No,
I was
don't
about
like
to
her.
pull out my lightsaber cheese grater. My name is Daniel. I'll be playing Robbie. He's a lawful good fighter folk hero.
You guys have voices for your characters? John?
Well, you know.
Okay. Riley?
Not yet.
Okay. Dan?
Howdy, folks.
Okay.
My name's Robbie.
Okay, we got a cowboy here. All right.
I'm just
Jar
a
Jar.
little country boy.
And you complained he was going to be Jar Jar?
It's at the end, right?
I'm
And
Hawk
as in
Robinson. I'm
Okay.
playing a wizard high elf acolyte
Wrong way.
named Erudicus. And he thinks very highly of himself. Yes, he does indeed.
You now.
Oh, yes.
Do you have a book?
But most of my time spent
No.
pouring into
Mine
books
is
and
not in
knowledge
my
and
book present for some
law.
reason.
Haven't
Are
really
those
worked
things
down
with
the
the
human
fancy words?
interaction thing. Indubitably.
Spellcasters.
That's a good one. Can I use that one? Indubitably?
Is free as a language to use, and depending upon
Most
your
of what I
language.
need.
Language is free?
The only
So-
thing I need is the wolf and the
Dan in Brazil. So introduce yourself, explain the character you're playing.
Oh, I am Dan from Brazil, not an actual surname, by the way. I'm playing a halfling rogue who's revealed his nickname as Hen. His name he probably hasn't told the other players, but I'll keep it that way.
All right.
Also known as I haven't come up with it yet.
Okay, that's fine. And let's see, adjusting this
That's too many
microphone.
Character, what the little thing is, and then adjust it. This one does not have the guide in it, or the module.
All right. Yeah, I brought it in closer, but is it too close?
No, not at all.
I gotta eat the mic.
Generally, that's the better audio quality.
All right.
Makes it less.
You sure you don't have another starter book over there?
I have the starter box on my. Where did I put it? But I don't have. For some reason, I don't have.
What's that in your hand?
Shoot. There it is. I didn't see it last time.
So, Hawk, your spellcaster, this would be a much easier way to look at your spells than the larger book.
All right.
I was going to give you spell cards, but it's taking too
Whose
long.
box is this out of?
Mine.
That's hers.
Okay.
If you want, you
Well,
can
we
write
put
my
your
name on it. All right. So,
She a Sharpie up there.
due to the fact that we almost never get all the way through this area for one shots, I felt like I needed a little bit more practice on this, and definitely a little bit more practice on what happens next after the dungeon, but or the hideout. I'm sorry, but I just want to give you guys a little backstory. You have been told that you will get, I do believe it's 10 gold pieces each for delivering this wagon full of provisions to Phandelver. On the way, you come across the horses of the person who enlisted you to come out, and his bodyguard, Hallwinter. And you guys are going down. You went down a path. There was 2 traps on it, and you've managed to disarm both of them without getting hurt. Now you've come to this clearing, and following the Goblin Trail, you come across a large cave in a hillside 5 miles from the scene of the ambush. A shallow stream flows out of the cave mouth, which is screened by dense briar thickets. A narrow, dry path leads into the cave on the right-hand side of the stream. What do you guys do? Shall we start with Dan in Brazil?
Yes, of course. Should I speak in character all the time, or only when my character speaks? Just for clarification.
Only when your character speaks.
Right, that's the main reason, is to be clear.
Yep. So, like, I walk into a room shouldn't be in character voice, but if you're singing or saying, "Follow me, guys," as you walk into a room, that's how it should be going. So, you kind of might get whiplash. I might get whiplash. Running to too many people.
I'll get from behind the group, which is where I usually am, and take a bit of a look around with wary eyes, strain through experience to spot whether there is something unusual, not natural, whether it be trap or sentry around here, or any signs of trouble.
Go ahead and roll your perception.
I don't have dice on me, I'm sorry, but my perception would be...
So GM can roll for you.
Yep. And your perception is?
0.
Okay, so you got a 16. You notice that there is a little part of the thickets by the cave mouth that look like, and they might have another path going back into it. And if you're looking at Twitch, you might be able to see the map, so that way you can have more information.
Right, I'll get to it.
I apologize. I have to run and go pick up my wife real quick, but I'll be back.
Okay.
The group of it signing, saying in a voice as low as he, seems the cave looks into itself, most likely.
Okay.
Ways of going in.
Twitch is in. What are you doing?
Well,
Having had him say that.
what did you just say?
Dan, can you repeat yourself?
I said that in a voice as low as he, seems the cave looks in on itself, giving us 2 options for entrances. So, with a gambling man and all women here, left or right?
2 paths.
I only see one path. Well, this is the hideout where the goblins came from, correct?
Yes.
Most likely, yes.
Where are the guards?
I don't see any.
So, if this was my house, there'd be a guard to ambush us. Does anybody see any?
Barbar.
Well, they aren't goblins.
That's important.
Goblins aren't very smart. They probably don't have any guards.
I'm sorry, Dan, we couldn't hear you.
I just looked around and looking a bit unsurprising. Well, that's some both in hospitality, looking at God everywhere.
Okay.
Yes, those look for
Alright, we were... Riley?
But if you are so worried, then I'll go first.
Okay. Are you gonna go stealthily, or are you just gonna walk down into there?
I'm gonna go across the room. Not stealth.
Not stealthily.
Not stealth.
Okay.
Golly.
Start
As
walking.
loud as I can.
Okay. Oh, one moment. before you go, I applaud you for going first. In fact, I bless you, my friend.
Oh, thank you.
Up to 3 creatures of choice within range. Whenever the target makes an attack roll or saving throw before the spell ends, the target can roll a die 4 and add the number rolled to the attack roll or saving throw. I can do 3 creatures. I choose the 3.
Squishiest.
Well, the mage and the 2 fighters. The 3 people directly in front of me. Because they're going to be taking the brunt of everything.
Okay. So you start. Okay. You hear.
Who goes there?
And 2 goblins pop out. Okay, I need you guys. Yep, right there. Perfect.
So small we could flush them out with a goblin call.
They look surprised.
I wonder what status that means there.
Are you sleeping?
Robbie?
Could you pass me a thing of Post-its, please? Going to need. Oh, I'm going to need the bigger one. There's a larger one behind there. Yeah, thank you.
Nice.
I'm trying to pick my spells. My character doesn't have pre-designated spells.
Is there a small one I can end up with?
Maybe.
I have to buy another pack. I need to do a Costco run.
Oh wait, no, I have one. I think. Maybe not. I do have paper. Okay. So,
I'm gonna pop an arrow in one of the, goblins that jumped out.
can you see them? Yep, okay. Just wanted to make sure you were at the back one.
Okay.
Go for it. Roll a d20.
18.
Plus? Or is that total?
That's total.
Okay. And roll for hit.
7.
That is a, that goblin falls to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Guessing this one?
Don't forget, you can roll a die 4 for your attack rolls.
Okay.
Okay. So I added to every attack roll?
Alright. So,
Yeah,
Eucritus.
for the next minute.
Okay.
Eucritus. Ha.
Sorry, multitasking is why it's problematic to be playing and supervising at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to go and cast Mage Armor.
Okay. And that gives you a plus, right?
My potion of healing. There's nothing but die 4s in there.
Thanks.
Yeah, it'll give me a base 13 plus my dex, so that makes my AC be 15 instead of 12.
Okay.
And it lasts for 8 hours.
Wow.
Ooh la la. That's asking me, you can't touch me. Alright.
Alright. Now that you guys have snuck up on the goblins, we need to roll initiative. Alright. Everyone have initiative? Okay. I need to roll for it. Alright. 20 or higher. 19. That would be egg or egg. 18. 17. 16. 15.
15.
Alright. Fuck, you go before him. And I was on 15, right? 14?
14.
Alright. We have order. Alright.
So, if you have one of these tokens in front of you, you have Bless.
Perfect.
I feel so blessed.
Go ahead. Let's start with
So
egg.
I'm confused by what just happened. You had him attack.
It was a surprise round.
There's no such thing as a surprise round.
Right. I forgot about this.
So everybody rolls initiative,
Mhm.
and then you cannot act until when your initiative comes up. You can't do anything on your initiative. After your initiative's over, you can take reactions. So if somebody had moved in and then moved back, he could have done attack of opportunity after their initiative. But there's no surprise round.
Okay. We'll fix that for later. Go ahead, Dan.
Ed will try to, moving through, I think these are bushes to the south, am I not mistaken? Could I just take position there, perhaps just see if I can get a clear shot of the remaining goblins?
There is a little bit of cover for this goblin because of where it's standing. Half cover.
I'll try to, well, I'll stay near the bushes and try to take the shot either way, unless
Okay.
I risk hitting my ally who is ahead.
Yes.
So that would be a ranged attack.
Wait,
Is it up to...
is he? Oh, he's the one on the end. Oh, yeah. That would you might have. Oh, you're gonna step forward one space. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Okay. That would be clear. I'm sorry. I was under the impression you were another one.
Oh no, it's fine.
Go ahead.
And with this, I'll get a short bow shot and a +5 attack bonus up to 80 feet. Is that up to 80 feet to my target?
It's less than 80 feet.
Oh, fantastic. So it's +5 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
And does he have half quarter, 3/4, or total cover?
He's not in cover because it's a different. Can you send me these in posted notes?
Because his direct line of sight goes right through the bushes.
Can you send me this in posted notes, please?
Sure.
Okay. Let's go ahead and we'll roll for you. And that is a hit.
And my damage will be 1d6 plus 3 piercing.
And that is a dead goblin. All right. Then Eucridus. You do not know if there's anyone else hiding behind the bushes. What
Eurydice.
Eurydice.
No, sorry. Now I can't even say it myself. Erudicus.
Erudicus.
Erudite.
Mm-hmm.
Erudicus. So he, is that him that trumped over? So
Yeah.
they're already down?
Yep.
Not a whole lot for you to do. I'll break open my tome and start reading some factoid about goblins.
Okay. Barbar, you saw
It
this?
says here that goblins are not especially cannibalistic.
Does that just mean they only don't eat other goblins?
Probably, yes.
So eating elves is probably on the menu.
Possibly.
Okay. Barbar,
Well, I'm already over here, so.
did you want to see if there was anything else in the clearing?
Well, I was
Well,
gonna
and then
go straight
over
for the
here
goblins.
it says...
Go straight for the goblins?
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
Does that mean that
All
they
right.
possibly
All you guys see are 2 dead goblins. There's nothing else in that clearing.
Dan
And
said something.
I'm sorry, Dan.
Just one thing. After the battle's over, Egg is going to try and stealthily move ahead across the stream and into those bushes.
So how long was the bless last for?
1 minute.
Just 1 minute. That was used up very.
I'm sorry. When you guys talk over Dan, I can't hear him. So can we please wait until Dan's done talking to have conversations? Especially since he's a remote
Yeah,
player.
of course, yeah.
Okay, so I heard half of that. Dan.
Egg would like to move through the stream as stealthily as possible into these bushes near the goblins in order to get a vantage point to see if he can find any traps or sentries remaining.
He's 25 feet of movement. Okay.
Just in case.
There might be, but it doesn't look. Or key roll perception. Sorry.
So that's
Oh
10 rounds.
wait, I have your die. Okay. So
We still are in blessed.
there is. Yeah, it's just a cliff face, and there's the trail going in, and it looks like that's pretty much all they use. Besides the hideout on the side that wasn't as well kept as they would hope.
That's strange. Usually goblins don't like to attack. Usually goblins don't like to attack in small groups. There may be more hiding out there. Maybe they're unaware, sneaking.
Maybe they're in the cave. I would like to go up and see the goblin bodies.
Okay.
So if you guys will make way, let me through here. Elbows.
Oh my, that's so rude.
I'm,
Pushy, are you?
I'm just trying to get my work done.
I was reading, yeah.
Partum, Begonus, Solum.
All right.
So I'm
So
gonna follow along after him.
okay.
So.
They're just two dead goblins. They have, they both have bows that look in total disrepair, and
Oh, sorry.
scimitars that are in disrepair. Nothing really else on them.
So what's your character's background
But yeah.
What?
like?
Can we
Yeah.
please side conversations? No, thank
What?
you. Can we not have side conversations? Thank you.
Okay.
All right. So do you guys go into the cave mouth?
I think the rogue should check it for traps.
Okay.
Rogue, I'm talking to you.
I believe Nicholas my egg.
Might want to use names
Hey.
since you're wearing character voice.
Well, yeah, I was trying to call him
Yeah.
rogue. I was literally calling, hey, yo,
Never trust a rogue.
I was... Okay, Eggsy.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it safe? Eggsy.
Omelet.
I'm here, I'm not dead.
Okay, so is the passageway in safe? I mean, if they only have 2 guards.
I mean, I don't see any danger, but if you wanted to, I could double check myself.
Is that why you're here?
I'm just traveling to Phandelver, but you know, traveling buddies, you gotta do what to help people. I'm not going to get in there alone. And if we're going on this fool's errand, then I suppose I shall help, right?
Right.
Right, you understand. So Egg will try to, squinting his eyes, approach the cave, and all sneaky-like, his stealth, by the way, is +7. And a rules question. When I'm investigating for traps, do I use perception or investigation?
That is up to you.
It's investigation.
It's
rules as written.
Okay. We'll go with investigation.
Which is a +3.
+3?
And it's probably right by the entrance.
What light source is he using?
This is the mouth cave.
What might lie inside.
Okay.
And let me see.
So, as far as you can see, which is only about 10 feet into the cave, it looks relatively safe. You got a 19, by the way.
I don't trust his vision. I'm gonna creep over with my noisy feet, elvish feet, and creep over and take a look myself because I don't trust his vision at all anyway.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your investigation.
Wow, wow, wow. 9.
You are certain that he saw exactly what you thought he saw, and it looks
I don't
really
know
safe.
yet, but I just didn't trust him anyway.
Yeah, it looks
Well-
safe.
It looks safe to me, everybody. It looks just fine. I
Okay.
say loudly.
Seems
Can
mighty
you see
dark
into
in there.
that next room that he said?
So
next
yeah,
to?
that's exactly what I was about to read. Thank you, John. But when you have interjections, could you pass them to me in sticky notes just like you did?
Oh, okay.
Thank you. All right. So just inside the cave mouth, a few uneven stone steps lead up to a small
So do you think we're gonna run
chamber.
something dangerous in there? Or you think it's gonna be really easy?
Hawk, you're really gonna need to hear this.
Okay.
It's gonna because you're the only one that can see it, so you're the only one that can tell everyone else.
Okay.
So, on the east side of the passage, the cave narrows to a steep fissure, and
Which
at
way
the
is east
end,
on the map? Oh, it's over there. Okay.
yep, it's on the map. Okay, and filled with the stench of animals, savage snarls, and the sound of rattling
Stinks of
chains.
animals in there.
Yeah, and you can hear chains. And they greet your ears. Chains.
Chains. Oh.
And that's all you can tell from there.
I'm gonna light a torch.
Stinks of animals. It sounds like chains in here. I say too loudly.
Okay.
It's very stinky, like animals.
And you light a torch.
Yeah, I light a torch.
Okay. So now everyone who doesn't have dark vision, I do believe it's 30 feet you can see from where Robbie is.
Okay. And
Clearly.
Can I hear the snarling?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna move in.
Okay.
Snarling.
You can hear the snarling. You didn't tell anyone.
Can I hear the snarling?
Yeah, because you're right up on the cave mouth.
Okay.
I hear snarling too.
Okay.
I hear really bad snarling. Beware, they're snarling.
I'm gonna
Bad snarling?
I'm gonna
Is there
put
a
the
good
torch
snarling?
in my
could be,
backpack
yeah.
so it's kind of sticking out, so I have both my hands free.
Okay.
Okay. Then I'm gonna knock an arrow.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow right behind him.
Okay.
My great axe raised.
I'm gonna head in. Where do I hear the snarling from?
From the cave that you're just about to pass.
Okay, I'm gonna turn in there.
You're hearing it snarling.
All right. And you alone right now can see that there are 3 wolves that are chained up just inside the opening. Each
Where's the
wolf.
closest one?
They are. I did not grab those. The closest one is attached to the pillar.
The pillar? Okay, I shoot it.
They look mangy, by the way.
Yep.
Get out of the misery.
That is a 24. Wait, no, hold on.
Can we?
Am I still under bless?
So we doing initiative again, or what?
We will in just a second.
Okay.
I have to describe it. I'm just going to find a wolf real quick.
Okay.
You don't.
Okay.
And we're still
So,
blessed, right?
How
yeah.
many minutes is it? How many rounds has it been since the combat began?
About 4.
4 rounds. So we have 6 rounds left.
Okay. Okay. And what were the benefits again?
You have a roll an extra die
One's
4
attached to the
for your attacks and saving throws.
Riley.
Okay.
26.
One of them is attached to that pillar. There we go.
26.
26 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which eyeball did you put it in?
Go ahead and roll damage.
5?
5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, sorry, I'll write it down for you.
Thank you, John. Really appreciate that you're writing these down. It helps a lot.
Well, he's the one who needs to know it, so.
Yeah, you can pass that down.
Okay, you need to roll your damage twice because you critted.
Oh,
But you only add your bonus once.
I crit?
Did you roll a 20?
No.
Oh yeah.
I roll a 17.
No, plus what?
7 plus the d4.
Oh, yeah, the plus is wonderful.
Yeah.
So
So I'm gonna go ahead and
Thank you,
action surge. Is it dead?
it is. I do believe it's not dead.
Action surge. And attack it again.
Okay.
Yep, I hit. Woo! 11 points of damage.
All right. That wolf is dead.
Okay.
And now we need to roll initiative.
Which is the. Okay.
Did you have specific one for
Did you
that?
surprise one?
The one by the pillar.
I thought we had discussed that.
You said the next one you would do the surprise round. So wait, you wouldn't do it with the. You just. We roll initiative first.
Yes.
Then he. If we have surprise, then he gets to go first. Then they don't act on their initiative. We roll initiative before the combat starts.
Okay.
Well, I don't have a missile weapon. I have a short sword. No missile weapon, and of course limited spells, so... Somebody wasn't
Cantrips can
thinking.
be fired every single round.
Oh, that's right, the cantrip. I forgot about the blasting 5th edition thing. Yeah. Sacred Flame.
I go on 7.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, that's cleric. Great Frost.
So, did we all roll initiative?
Yep, I rolled.
Okay. I got you.
You can roll.
Yep.
I've got
Just pick a number 1 to 20.
All right. So 20 or higher. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9,
I'm gonna shoot a ray
8,
of frost at him when I get a chance.
7,
Me!
6, 5.
Freeze them where they stand.
All right.
Chillification.
It looks like who just okay. Dan was the one that was in there with them.
Do we all have the surprise round benefit or just the first person?
I was going to start with the first person because he's the only one that saw.
Okay.
And so Dan Brazil, you might let's see, where's your perception? So what are you doing?
Could you point out my mini on the map? I can't see it very clearly.
It's the little one.
Yep. So you can smell the wolves and how stench it is, the stench, and you can hear the growling, and you might have heard a whimper. That's all you can see.
I'll carefully weigh. Is the creature south of my ally a wolf? The dead wolf? The one just off the street.
So this is north. The
Yeah.
top of the map, well, sorry, the bottom of the, oh, I see. That would be a little confusing. Bottom of the map is north. Top of the map is south. Into the caves is east. Away from the caves, where we came from, is west.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, to the east of my friend here. The one that is being pointed
So you're
out.
looking at the wolf stats?
Yeah, if there's more than one, they have extra bonuses.
But they have to be next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like those two right there.
Mm.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to stop that.
I'll try to pass by my comrades, not get into range of any wolves or potential bites.
Okay, so you're trying to go into there?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And try to take a shot.
So
at
since
the
you're
creature.
moving through people, the first one is 10. And you have 25 movement. Can we move him? He's in the... So, 10
Well,
is through the 2 people.
yeah.
And then
Excuse me, excuse me,
Yeah.
excuse me,
10, 15,
That's 25
20.
right there.
Yeah, that is 25.
Well, since he's a halfling, can't he go through?
Oh, he does. He has...
Correct. He has,
He can. It doesn't cost extra movement.
Okay.
To the people.
Yes.
if they're one size larger than yours.
Which they are. So,
Um,
he can move farther forward. Did you want to move farther forward or where you are? Okay.
is there room for people to pass me by the side? I just don't want to block anyone.
Yeah.
If you step one to the side, it would... People would be able to also funnel in.
I'll do that then and take a shot.
Okay.
No, I don't got to do them.
You rolled a
Thank you, Alexander
16
Hamilton. Roll a 16.
plus your 5,
That.
right?
He's 13.
So that's...
Sorry?
You rolled a 16.
Mhm.
So you'd add, you're adding 5. Sorry. I do have your character sheet in front of me too. So that's a 21 to hit, so you hit. And it's 1d6, right, plus 3.
Uh-huh.
And
I am
you,
utterly impressed with the alacrity with which you impaled them with your implement.
it hits and does 9 damage to it. Which one did you hit? The gray one or the silver one? I mean, not the gray. The
Brown or the silver?
the brown or the silver?
I think the nearest.
That would be the brown.
Okay.
Crazy.
Okay. All right. Barbar.
I am going to move through here. So that's 15, 20, 25. That's not close enough. So I'm just going to throw my javelin at the same one, I guess, the brown one.
Okay.
Be plus 5, 16.
16 hits.
Okay. What do I have for John? 6. Be 7 damage.
All right. That hits, and that is another dead wolf. So, the next person is,
Blast them! Well, freeze them! Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and try to hit with a ray of frost. So, frigid beam of blue-white light streaks toward the creature, so the silver one, I guess, is what's left. So, ranged attack against the target.
can you show me where you are? Just so I have reference. Thank you.
My ranged attack is that just my dex mod. I don't have a weapon.
Does he have cover from where he's standing? I don't know that you have line of sight on him.
If you move over 1.
Yeah, so move me over.
Well, yeah.
Excuse
That would
me,
be partial cover.
excuse me.
Now you can see him.
Alright. My ranged attack modifier is it just my dex or
it's
is
your-
my intelligence because of the
It's
spell?
your intelligence plus the so plus
Okay.
5.
Okay. Woo!
Did you? Is that a 20?
No.
No, it's I rolled an 18, but
Oh!
modifiers
For a hawk, that's like rolling a
Yeah.
You did a little dance. I was like,
Yeah.
is it just a 17 or is it a is it a
So
20?
on a hit, it takes 1d8 cold damage. 7. I'm on a roll. So to speak.
Does it have any residual effects?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, its speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of my next turn.
Okay.
So.
Perfect. Try. I can't. Chirurgeon. I have a hard time with names. It's going to be my
It's just a
downfall for the
simple
rest
form
of
of
my
name.
life.
Chirurgeon. Sounds more like something from Street Fighter. Chirurgeon.
I can't even say the first name of the main guy that you guys are.
The first name is OSCAR.
Silidar.
And it has a second name.
I call him Hallwinter.
Sildar.
Sildar. Yeah.
S-I-L, Sil.
Sil.
D-A-R, Dar, Sildar.
I just call him Hallwinter.
Is OSCARMEAY.
There's a reason why people have nicknames and second and last names. So, whenever I run, I call him Hallwinter.
So what happens to the dog after it gets hit from the frost? What does it do?
It's cold. It looks like it's moving slow.
Is it going to shatter if somebody hits it? Not that.
Not that quickly. Like maybe if you hit him a couple more times.
5, 10, 15, 20,
Okay.
25.
How do you know that?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got all the wolf stats right there in front of him. All right.
Yeah.
So I need a dexterity saving throw from the wolf. I feel sorry for the wolf. He's so cold. I'm going to make him warmer.
Okay.
So he gets a dex saving throw. My DC is 13, meaning you have to roll that or higher.
It is higher.
Oh, well then nothing happens.
Okay. Riley, why don't you go ahead and put the book away?
How come?
Because then you know everything that's coming, and I might have changed it. It might not be the same, so then you... I mean, these are mangy wolves, so they might not be as the same as the book. So it's an adventure, so you don't know.
By the
Is
way,
that a
I
status
cast
condition?
sacred
Mange?
What?
Is that
sacred
a
flame.
status condition? Mange?
Well, it could be mange could be listed under the diseases.
Diseases?
Does
Yeah.
it make them easier to kill?
No,
Might.
makes them meaner.
It might make them meaner. It might make them more strong. We don't know.
Means our hair's gonna fall out.
That is the only thing that you guys all know. So
Well, I'm
go
gonna
ahead and put it away,
cast,
Riley.
Ray of Frost then. To try to finish
Oh.
him off.
Well,
I wish that
it's
snow
still
would have
it's
affected
still
dexterity, but it's
Oh.
not.
his turn.
Alright.
Go ahead. You were
I said I just wish them being slowed by his thing would have affected the dexterity, but the rules don't cover that.
okay, but it is. Did you? Nothing happened. Was that your action?
If the dexterity saving throw is failed, if he succeeds on the dexterity saving throw, nothing happens from Sacred Flame.
Okay.
It just misses him. He goes,
Okay.
Oops, I didn't want to get hit by that.
All right. Robbie,
I'm gonna shoot that last one.
can you show me where your character is? Do you think you have line of sight?
Okay, I move up
Yes.
past them and
So, count your feet for me.
10, 20, 25.
Thank you.
Am I still under bless?
Yes. This is the last round for Bless, I do believe.
How many rounds has it been since we started this combat?
This is. Oh no, this is one. No, this is.
Yeah, we've only gone through one thing.
Yeah,
There's
no,
6
so
rounds
it's 2 more rounds.
left. No, we have.
6 rounds left?
You said there was 4 rounds when we started the combat already taken.
Yeah.
Out of 10. This is round 5.
Okay.
5
12.
rounds are left.
12.
12?
Yeah.
Okay, that is a dead wolf.
Okay, I want to go ahead and collect my arrows.
Okay, go ahead and collect your arrows.
Okay.
So you
that's
guys are
3 arrows, right?
you shot
3 times.
3 times.
Okay. I'm also gonna go back out to the woods and collect my arrow from that goblin.
Okay. So, if the party starts to move on, so you might want to tell them what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm bringing it out here. Are there any other bodies there?
No, just the
No.
2.
Do they have any arrows on them?
They have a few, like 3 each, but they're pretty bad-looking arrows. You don't know if it'll be worth picking them up.
I'm going to pick them up.
Okay.
So that's 6 arrows?
Yep.
Okay.
Alrighty,
Okay,
guys.
I'm gonna go ahead and impale the goblin arrows, the goblins their eyes with the goblin arrows.
Okay.
You?
We don't see him do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Just remember that, we are running a PG kind of public game.
It's not like I'm eating them.
You didn't say that at the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm not a
Or
cannibal.
not PG,
I
but
just want to make sure that
PG-13.
whatever
Low
goblins
violence.
come by
PG-13
understands that
Just
we're not going to
low.
mess with them.
Okay.
So,
Low on the...
the goblins have 2 eyes each,
Are there
right?
any other
Yeah.
house rules we need to
So you
know
have 2.
about?
Okay. So,
Just keeping it friendly for everyone, so that way we're not offending people.
Okay.
okay.
All right, guys. So he is off doing stuff. What the coins are for has diminished because you guys are obviously going to be in there for a little bit. Yeah.
So no more blessings.
No more blessings.
No more blessings unto us.
Well,
So 5.
I needed it for that last one.
So 30 seconds passed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you guys are in there. There is a chimney that leads up that you can see on the, I do believe this is the west wall.
Right
East
here?
wall. Yes.
East wall, yes.
And there's rubble at the feet of it, and that's where the wolves are attached, 2 of them. And do you guys do anything in that room? Do you guys wait for your party member who has gone, or...
Excuse me. We seem to have lost someone. Where did he go? He was here a moment ago. I think
Did
he's
he
picking up his
scout ahead?
arrows. No, I think he went behind us, actually.
I come back in.
Oh, there you are. Wondered where you went.
Okay.
What were you doing? What is
Collecting
that?
my arrows.
Are there eyeballs on the arrow? tips?
No, I left them in there.
Oh, okay.
Just stab the arrows into their
Did
eyes.
you keep the other 2?
Yeah, I kept the other 2.
Okay.
So I
I
have 2
didn't know if
goblin
you had
arrows.
like eyeballs just to drop or something.
Okay. You said that there's a chimney in this room.
Yes.
Is it does it
Gonna be
have
a
fire in
chimney
it?
sweep?
No.
No. Okay. I want to pile the
Chimney.
wolves by the chimney and I want to light them on fire.
Okay, so you start to pile the wolves in the corner.
I don't want the diseases to infect it, so I want to burn it off.
Okay. So do you guys see him
Pile
starting to
the
pile them?
wolves.
Do you tell your party what you're doing? Or ask for help? Or do you just start doing it?
These wolves look kind of sick. I wouldn't want them to infect us or anything.
Right.
You can burn out diseases, right?
Some people can.
I'm going to use my torch to light them on fire.
In the chimney?
Dominique, let's see, all doggies go to heaven.
Ew, it smells like burning dog fur. Ew.
Won't that tell everybody we're here?
Ew.
We've got to kill them all anyway, don't we?
Yeah, but I like to get the joke
Well,
on
no,
them, not the
perhaps
other
we
way.
could negotiate or bribe them or some other approach.
Okay.
Do you think that the goblins negotiated with You think the goblins negotiated with our leader?
It doesn't mean we have to stoop to their level. Perhaps we can be above them.
My quest is to just
You're homeless,
get our
aren't you?
leader, not kill everyone and then get our leader.
Exactly.
I've got a home. Well, I had a home.
Kind of on the road, aren't you?
Rather
Maybe a
not talk.
hobo.
I'd rather not talk about that.
Okay. So what are you guys... Are you...
Yeah.
Sounds like
Dragon.
you've got a bit of a traumatic background.
There was a dragon who kind of came by and torched my home.
Oh,
I-
oh my, that's terrible.
Don't want that to ever happen again.
What about you? What's happened to you? Why are you here?
I'm here because my cousin's missing.
What
Gundar.
about you?
He was with Sildar Hallwinter. That's why I know his name.
What about you in Brazil? Why is your character here?
Why is his character in Brazil?
Riley said, why is his character in Brazil? Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Dan.
Right. So you wouldn't actually directly answer the question. Instead, trying to refer to Erotica with a worried expression. Hey, Chief, got a afraid dog? Do you think you should be worried that maybe there's something else in there?
Point of order. Goblins in Pathfinder are afraid of dogs. Goblins in Dungeons and Dragons ride wolves.
Oh, right, that's good to know. Still, you might believe
So,
Right.
Where are the exits to this room?
So you have the exit that you just came in that all leads to the path that goes up the stream. You caught a glimpse of another passageway that might go up.
I'm gonna go down that passageway.
Okay. Well, you also had the chimney, just so you know.
Can I climb up the chimney?
You could. It's not a. It's more of a natural chimney than a.
I'm gonna go down that passageway.
Where do you think you're going? Without us?
There's goblins there, aren't there?
We'll wait for the rest of us.
Okay.
So how
Yes,
do you
fine.
guys? How do you guys proceed?
I'm going forward.
What's he doing?
I guess I'll follow him.
That was in character voice.
I'm-
What's he doing?
What are you doing?
I guess I'll follow Robbie. Seems to at least know something of this place.
Really?
A noble who leads from the rear, of course.
Obviously.
Interesting. I start writing my book looking suspiciously.
Okay. So how do you proceed out of the room? What order?
I'm at the front.
Okay.
I'm right behind him.
I'm in the middle, squishy middle.
And by the way, I have an arrow knocked.
Okay.
And who's
In
holding
the
the
squishy
light?
middle.
I've got the light in my backpack.
No, we're going up that way.
Make sure I'm in the squishy middle.
No, I'm going that way. He has it correct. Past
Wait.
wolves.
Oh
you're
no,
going
it's
up
not
the chimney.
past the wolves. That's the chimney. The
Oh,
other
that-
side.
This is the chimney. This is where the river passage goes, and there's a walkway right there.
And I said on the other side of the
Over
river.
here is another passage, so it branches
Oh.
off this way.
Okay. I thought that was the passage. Yeah, in that case, yeah.
Okay. As you guys all enter the hallway.
What are the other two doing back there? They're just staying there?
Hey, you should be sneaking up in front. You're supposed to look for traps. Don't you know your job? La 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 la.
That's to aid.
Right, but I'm not going to dissuade him, right, am I?
Okay. So once all of you guys are in the hall, you hear.
Do you hear that?
Is it wind?
Okay, what is that?
It is. It is water. The passage is suddenly filled with the almighty roar, and a huge surge of water pours from above. Everyone roll.
Move my character all the way to the back.
Well, you were in the middle of the pack,
I
so.
was
I'm trying to go up as far as possible to get away from this water.
High ground,
She's
high
going to
ground,
tell
high
us
ground.
what this roll and what
Terrain
modifiers
of a
to
superior
add
nature.
for
Okay.
being close by.
Go ahead and roll a dexterity saving throw to avoid being swept away.
No.
Do I get any bonuses for being on the hard ground and next to the exit?
I got a 6.
No, because this water
6
is
what
rolling.
I got a 6.
It's roaring.
I got a 10.
Okay.
Better than my 6.
20.
It's nice knowing.
Can you rolled a 14? What? Can you add the number for me, Dan?
I'm swished
in
on
Brazil?
down the road.
I have
Switch on down the road.
1 3 dexterity.
You have a what?
17 total.
17 total. Sweet.
That's quite good, actually.
And I do believe Hawk was the only one under 10.
Oh yeah, 6.
I was at 6, but I'm further up as well.
You were just on the hard ground. Because I've said right as everyone's in the passage, which would be like right as you're there.
Mm-hmm.
So a 6 would still have you be knocked off your feet.
Okay.
So, since you were in the middle,
Now these spells work.
you
I
get
wonder what had happened.
you get swept out and right outside of the cave, and right there is where you're able to catch.
The humanity, the
Vanity.
And
Elvanity.
for
yes.
you, you get swept into the wall next to you.
Splat.
Okay.
And take 1 damage.
Did anyone else get swept away? No, just me. Just my lucky
Is my torch still lit?
Oh, I'm so
Yes, it
okay.
is because
Okay.
it just knocked out your knees because you were on.
My bedraggled dogma
Okay.
self crawls onto the
I'm
bank,
gonna run towards
rolling
where the water
dramatically
came from.
around. And,
Okay.
My arrow knocked.
Oh.
So you're running up the path
Yeah.
towards the top.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Oh.
what?
What do I see?
Well, once you get to just past the cave mouth, or right up to the bridge, you hear
I'm gonna run
Over
back.
there?
right because he's running up.
Oh no! Are you running? Now I want to clarify. Are you running this way or up this way?
That way.
Towards the water.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and you're the
I claw my way out of the
missile
water.
one. Yeah, okay.
Am I out of the water yet?
Yes.
Five,
You're
well, it's
you're
double
you
the water.
right
It's
outside
10,
the
Okay.
cave mouth.
15,
You were
20.
like
Alright.
yeah.
25, 30. So just as you get to the water. To there.
Oh, I'm
Yep.
all wet. Oh,
Um,
Can we move before anything else happens? I mean, he just moved. Should
Oh,
we
what
look
am
at
I
a
going
move?
to do?
Yes,
So
that's
windy.
exactly where I was going.
I
Okay.
need to
So,
start off properly with all my ingredients.
Although, Eucharist, right? Did I say that right?
Erudicus. As
Euryticus,
an erudite.
Dandelion eater.
is spending all of his time trying to get out.
Trying to
That's the only one.
squeegee off and the
Barbar,
elvenity of
the
it
water just
all.
came by. You think you might be hearing a second one.
How
What do you do?
odd for the water to just suddenly surge.
I'm gonna
How
go.
odd for the water to suddenly surge!
I'm gonna further go up that pathway away from the water.
Okay.
You probably see the desecration by at this point.
I'm still rolling around on the ground, pulling myself up.
So go ahead and move your character. It's you were.
What's this line here?
That is. That is where it starts to get really hard to walk up. I'm on 2 pages
Okay,
at
I'm going to
once.
come running back up to the cave to catch up with everybody.
Passage. Okay, so what you see real quick is the main passage from the cave
Okay,
mouth
I'm
climbs steeply upward.
What do I see?
A stream plunging, splashing its west side. The shadows of the passage
What are you doing,
lead
Egg?
across the other stream. Can you wait 1 second? I'm handling someone else's thing real quick. Go ahead. It's go ahead and roll your dexterity saving throw to make it up. It just rolled off the table.
Oh, let's do it again. That's 18.
That looked like a 3, is that right?
No, it's 19 right there.
Oh, but you rolled the other die.
Did I?
Yes.
Sorry, that was the next one.
Can we get another roll? But can you take the other die off the table for me? All right. That is what is on the die.
It's a 13.
Okay. So you make it up as far as you can.
Okay.
Oh, it's past that line. It's 10
Okay.
per.
So 10, 20, 30.
All right. And you're getting John.
Yes. Yes.
What is your character doing currently?
My character is grabbing the elf
Okay, so you ran out of the cave?
I'm right
Oh.
there. I got hit. We got thing. I made the saving throw. The elf has come up there.
How did you get up into the cave?
Me, I ran up.
Yeah, we're taking turns to see who moves where and what is happening. You were kind of soaking and
Yeah,
trying to
then I
claw
ran
your
up.
way up. Yeah, we're still resolving the same 10 seconds, essentially. Or 6
Okay.
seconds.
Okay.
So you're still outside of the cave.
Oh. Alright.
Right.
That's inside the cave.
Now
It's
that I
still
ran up.
inside of the cave. Nope. We'll get to your turn in
Now
just a
I
few
ran up.
seconds.
Okay.
Just, we'll get there. Alright.
Okay, well, if the elf's not there, I will just.
I'm over here! Hi!
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I get just to the mouth of the cave. But I can.
Now you're in my way.
I believe I'm in this one square next to. So you're in this square, right? Okay. Are you injured?
No, I'm fine. Just wet and bedraggled and just my pride. That's all.
I wasted my time checking on a leaf eater.
Let's go! I should
Alright.
have passed him.
Sorry.
Well, I'd like to do a double move
Okay.
because I came up, I asked him, and I didn't take any actions.
Mhm.
So I'm using double move, and I'm going to go up back here.
Did I sprint?
Not quite there. Alright. Egg, what are you doing?
Right, I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
Hello in the dark.
I'll try to conjure up this drier stretch of land behind one of my friends, as
Okay.
carefully as possible, trying to avoid the water lest another downed bird or, another wave of water comes by.
So, are you going up the passageway or are you going up the water route?
The passageway.
Okay. So, I'll roll for you. And yeah, you make
So what do
it
you
as
see?
far as you
You're all-
can.
Is that you all the way up here? What do you see up there?
I don't know yet. I haven't described.
How'd you get up
I
there?
also don't have a torch out, so.
He's going this way.
No, he's going the other way.
Which
He's
way?
going up that way. Yeah.
Okay.
See, so you're,
I see
it's
black.
dark.
So it's double movement through the water. It's
I see a red door and I want it
10.
in black.
20. Is there any difficult terrain here? It looks like.
Yeah. So, that is difficult right there. Or no, the first two are not, and then the next part is, once you cross that line.
Okay, so that was 30. Are you using a double move, or are you going to take any actions once you get off the water?
Dan.
I think I'll take a double move.
The speed's 25.
So
That
he
was
gets,
10, 20, that was 25 to that point then.
Gotcha.
25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. That's as far as you can get because you said that was after the line was.
difficult terrain until you open up into the. Yep.
Okay.
Sorry, no, who's ahead of me?
Riley is. Or, actually, no, Riley's not. Barbara is.
Barbar's a barbarian.
No, he's a fighter.
All right.
Good to me.
He's a noble.
So, you hear the water rushing.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna run back.
Okay. Run as
I'm gonna dash.
dash. Okay.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Would I be safe from it there?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Eucridus.
Is it my turn now?
Yeah.
Okay. I run on up the passage.
Can you count your steps for me?
All right.
It's 5 per, and you since you're running, I'm guessing it's you're doing double movement.
20, 25, 30.
That's the double.
That's
there.
double move there.
30?
Is it? No, 30. It's double movement, so it'd be.
You went 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Put you right in the water.
Right, that's my first move.
Right, now you're going to do a double move, so you're going to move
Yeah.
where?
All the way up here.
Okay, so that's
10,
5,
20,
10.
30.
15, 20, 20.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
See? Hi, everyone.
That's only half of us.
Why do you everybody keep asking that?
Okay.
Asking.
The water rushes by, and it is even taller now because the rest of the water before the path is completely covered. That is next to the stream, and I'll tell you when it dissipates.
So let's stop here for a second. And Danielle, what were the player archetypes?
John was the rules lawyer.
Good.
And he even got frustrated and started pacing. And I was like, oh, crap. And Riley was the cheater.
Give that away.
What were your clues on that?
Well, he kept rolling the wrong die and taking the number from the other die.
Okay.
And I didn't catch
So
that.
at what point did you notice that he was the cheater? Because he was the cheater the whole time.
Yeah, it was when the
And
book...
he was being pretty subtle, and
Yeah.
so I said, be more obvious.
Yeah, I told him, lift up your book so she could see you reading it.
He hid the book. I thought he had a player's handbook. And then when you guys started
Yeah,
talking
you
about the
gotta
wolf
watch for these
stat,
things.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh crap.
We were
I'm
escalating.
so used to the players having a wolf because one of the characters that wasn't there this week has a wolf. So
Right.
having the wolf stats in front of you is
Well,
what they have.
problematic.
That's
Yeah.
situational awareness. You're aware of what your current players are doing.
Yeah. So I missed that until I really thought about it. Dan was a munchkin.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
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 Murder hobo?
Yes.
I gave you a hint. You don't have a home.
It is understandable why, because he didn't get to do a whole lot of murder hobo-ness,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but he wasn't being disruptive in other ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would
So-
turn into Munchkinville if he was doing
I
all
was,
that. He wasn't doing
I was
that.
making a point to desecrate everybody.
Yeah. And that's why I was like, rein it in a little
He was doing murder hobo, he
bit.
didn't get to see a lot of it.
Yeah.
And Hawk, you were just distracted, but I didn't know if that was the thing. But then you were the anxious player that really wanted to go, but you were also being distracted, so it was really
Close.
confusing.
Yeah. The distracting part was just me being distracted. I was the interrupting player who keeps interrupting all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I kept interrupting
Interrupting
them,
horse
I
has
was
what?
interrupting you,
Mm-hmm.
I was always interrupting, I kept going out of turn.
Yep.
And I got away with a lot. I got away with a lot of out of turn interruptions, should be noted.
Okay.
I have one question, if I'm not
Please, Dan.
myself. What would be the proper form for interrupting the action if I wanted to make a role-playing choice? There are a few times that I wanted to interject.
Yeah, since you're remote, you're welcome to interrupt to say, hey guys, I need to say something. We can try to watch for your hand wave in Jitsi, but the best thing is just speak up. That's okay, we understand because you're remote, you need to speak up.
Can I get a Jitsi window over here so I can see if he is doing that? Or is that not possible?
Yeah, I guess.
Just muted? Or, that'll probably cause a lot of feedback on it.
Muted. No, that doesn't matter, it's not going to change any of
No
that.
worries, I'll just speak up.
Yeah, you
Okay.
might not, but see, you'd have to be watching and stuff. Yeah, just speak up.
For
Okay.
the hardest question of all, which archetype was I?
The player that really is kind of standoffish.
No, you're not supposed to be any archetype, you're just supposed to be playing.
But he was standoffish because he probably had that problem.
Dan, were you trying to be a particular type?
No, and I'm making either a bit head, and I'm trying to, I think I need to improve that. That's my question.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was standoffish too because, when you're over Jitsi,
When
you're
it's remote, it
standoffish
can be more
anyways.
challenging. Yeah, you have to make sure you're not misinterpreting that's just because he's remote. He didn't seem standoffish to me at all.
Okay.
Considering he's remote. He seemed engaged, he did try to interject.
Mm-hmm.
He was very responsive when queried under the understanding with the remoteness.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't pick up on that at all.
So I've never been. There's one thing that we need to address real quick. I've never been in here, and trying to hear Dan,
Okay?
and
It is a little difficult since we lost the big screen.
I can't
It's
hear
hard to hear.
him.
I understand. That's what I was kind of pointing out when he was talking. I've got to get.
And there's words I'll be listening and I'll lose.
Somewhere I have my speaker box, and I keep meaning to bring it
Okay.
in and plug it in. But
So
Is it
someone
in the
else
box?
has to
The vent?
might have to
it
interpret
might be.
what Dan is saying
Yeah.
because I can't.
No, I have the same problem with because it's on these laptops. Again, when we had the big screen here, it worked great.
Okay.
And it's something I've got to resolve.
Do
since
we
the
not
other big
have the
screen's
headphone
disappeared.
thing anymore, or is that gone?
We've stopped doing the headphone thing because it was just too complicated.
Okay.
So we end up with a little bit of echo and stuff, but it's been better. By the way, somebody came in, checked in from Zoe, and because I was being all weird and dramatic, they're like, "Okay, weird, farewell." Because they didn't set the context of the obnoxious character player I was playing.
Right.
Like, oh well,
What was
sorry.
the other character trait my character was doing?
Being anxious. That's what I really noticed from yours.
Yeah, what did you notice how I was treating the other characters?
John, did I already give you yours?
What, the rules lawyer?
No, another one.
I didn't get a second
I
one.
guess I didn't write it down yet. Yeah, I did.
You were trying to
Wait a
take
minute.
over the characters a tiny bit, but
Okay,
in
I
ways that
accidentally
were.
joined them together.
Oh, you were trying to
There you
police
go,
them
that's yours.
essentially.
Wait a minute.
I was being
I'm all
obnoxious and calling them all
I'm
names.
Daniel.
Yeah, you
Did
can't
you
be
notice?
both.
I called
They're
her rogue.
contradictory.
Yes,
I called her
All right.
barbarian.
Sorry.
That was all
I
in
got-
character, so I
Leafy.
thought your character was.
Right, but is that problematic that I was doing that in
So
character?
you are-
I mean,
It
does
could
that-
be in a sensitive situation,
Okay.
but I didn't think that this situation was considerate for that. But yeah, I did notice. I thought that was just your character trait that he was just rude.
That's just you.
I thought your character was rude, not you. Your character. I thought that was how you were playing him, as just like a rude.
Were you just a student bleed?
Yeah, I just thought you were a hill dwarf. You were going to be a little snotty. That you thought maybe.
That's racist. You
More-
think that all Eldors are snotty.
You were also a soldier in the past, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not past life.
So
Okay,
I just
so-
thought that was a part
so
of your
here's what I
personality you were
noticed
developing.
on these.
So yeah, could you?
It took 3 major prompts before you prompted him to put the monster manual away.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were really, really, really obvious about it.
Okay.
Made sure you saw it was a monster manual. And it wasn't until the 3rd time when we were talking about the stats that you noticed that. So that was going on for quite a while.
Yeah.
Double check rolls.
Yeah.
Unless you've got a rapport with somebody that you really know you can trust, like a volunteer or something, and even then make sure.
Today we're not volunteers. We're monsters.
Watch those rolls carefully and check your modifiers on your tents.
Yeah.
Because that's how you find the cheaters. And you'll find them very quickly if you're paying attention. If you're not paying attention to those rolls, you're kind of like, okay, yeah. And also make sure those rolls are visible to you. Like if they're hiding behind things, go, nope, I gotta see it.
Not 20.
Yep, exactly. And other players might not speak up. They might go, yeah, he's helping our group. They might actually play along or just not be paying attention. Or even if they are, just they might, because it helps the group, they might not say anything.
That's
so
true.
you have to make sure you can see it.
Not every table has an.
What's that?
Not every table has a rules lawyer sitting next to the cheater.
Well, and so you did what you could with him being a rules lawyer to an extent. The challenge with the rules lawyer is
That you need to have a conversation
you need to
outside.
have a conversation when it becomes obvious, and then and help build that rapport. And it usually takes 2 or 3 sessions before they trust you.
Mm-hmm.
So doing what you did with the post-its and such was kind of what you needed to do, but
Well, I would have afterwards
Right.
took that player
well, it
aside.
would have been good when he's starting to pace and such. We were far enough into it. It would have been a good time to take a short break
Okay.
and then have the conversation.
Yeah.
When you see it's gotten to that point, have that conversation and say, hey, I would love for you to write down these things so that we can go over them during the next break. And I'm going to be counting on you to help me when I ask you to. But the rest of the time, if I'm not asking you to do a rule, write it down and then we'll go over it during the next break.
Okay.
As long as it's not going to be life or death.
I'm not going to be the rules lawyer next, so you're on your own.
Dang it. There was a couple of things that you corrected on me, and I was like, oh no, I don't remember this. Being completely honest. Yeah.
Well, I tried to be only a rules lawyer on things that could obviously
You want
be,
me to hold on
I
to
wasn't
this
going to correct you if you were right.
No, go ahead. Do
No,
that.
there are rules lawyers that will do that.
John, can I see yours again? Because I've got.
You forgot what you're doing to me?
I wrote down the wrong.
I like what I have.
Okay, that's the one I want. Okay, this is just an addendum to that.
Oh.
Okay. I'm going to use the restroom real quick. Cause
Oh, okay, yeah.
Bobby.
Yeah, take a short break, everybody. So, what should everybody do for a break, especially if you got a bunch of wiggle bottoms? Everybody,
Stretch.
get out.
Use the restroom if you need it. I went out the wrong side.
Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. And it got it.
Continuing to do the previous archetypes, I would have rolled this the next time.
Kids even notice it. I got a natural 37.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Ooh, 32.
32. Natural even.
Well, because it has to be within 20, everything above 20 is going to be a 20.
You're making me doing dex saves.
Instead of calling out numbers, just yell crit.
Whoa. I'm
gonna change my character's name to Chris.
Yeah. What?
Oh, I wish there were more bodies so I could have been more murder hobo.
Let's just stuff all of the bodies on the chimney and smoke them out. That'll work.
Guys, if I may,
Yes?
do you have any tips on how I might come off as less standoffish? I didn't want to, be a damper on the game.
You're being a bit too concerned about being a damper on the game. Don't let that stop you. If you want to say something, speak up. That way we can get your attention. That way you can get our attention.
Ask for forgiveness, not recognition, that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
In your case, yes. Everybody else has to behave themselves. Unless their note said to not behave themselves.
Oh, alright. Thank you.
By the way, I apologize.
Oh god. No, I apologize.
Oh no, you don't understand.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
What are you guys going to be?
That's my dream. Which is that's how my comfort zone.
Yours lies into mine because I won't make my own decisions.
Oh god.
Yeah, we're going to be butting heads.
Luckily we're at different spots, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the exact spot that I need to be.
Okay.
Well, I'm not going that way. So.
I'm gonna throw some water in my cup real quick.
Go for it.
So, how do you like playing the archetypes?
I've been wanting to do this.
Yeah.
There's a couple of archetypes that I think I'd be able to do. The murder hobo, I think I could. I just needed more bodies.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be the player attacker.
Yeah.
I know I can do rules lawyer. I know the
I
rules.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This.
That's the one I'm concerned about with Riley. I don't know if you know the rules. How well do you know the rules now for 5th edition?
The only one I know well.
Okay, but as long as it's 5th edition.
Multiple
you can
times
do it. Okay.
I'm like, well, he can actually go through.
Okay, I just wouldn't know because when we talked about it early on, you said you didn't know the rules quite that well.
Well, for
But
any
since
other
then, you had a
game.
lot of. No, but for 5th edition early on, you said you were kind of still working on it. This is when you first started.
Oh well.
So since then, you've learned a lot.
Probably.
Okay.
I don't know.
This is going to be dangerous.
I'm afraid, Dan.
So,
Nice.
additional things. They all fall out of my head. With the cheater, after what?
I'm just looking at what you are.
You're still cheating?
Still in cheater mode. Right?
We haven't.
We haven't switched yet. Yeah. So with the cheater,
Yeah?
once it became clear they were cheating, like the rule book or something, like once is okay. Maybe they just didn't know better. So by the way, assume everybody's been given the code of conduct rundown, either the basic or the complex version. Just assume that for these trials. All right. So that's not an argument to say we didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Assume that was done at some level. As we do these things, we're not going to go every single time. from time to time we will refresh.
Alright, I was being mean when I said
That's okay.
Yeah,
That's okay. Yeah. So with the cheater, with the book thing, you did what was appropriate once you noticed, but be more on top of that.
Yeah.
Once you're aware that they're cheating on dice rolls, not that it was a mistake. You know, you're confident that that was a cheat, and sometimes it's not always clear. Sometimes
Well,
you
like-
keep your eye open.
With my other group, I make them all do it together. So they'll
Do
roll
what
the
together.
die,
Yeah.
and then they'll add it because we were having a problem with adding.
Okay.
So.
So that's one thing you can do, except that if you have players who are in cahoots,
Yeah.
might not work. So those kids back at Spark, you had a couple of kids who kept cheating on you.
They did?
Yep. And nobody said anything to you. They just kind of gave you a sidelong look to see if you noticed, and you didn't notice. So they were happy because it helped the group. So that's where that, if there's any kind of where they think they're trying to get one over the GM, that's going to happen, especially with kids. You got to really pay attention. Yeah, those kids they're a handful, and this is the practice you need.
This is the
training group for
That's
you.
That's why you're
In
there.
the wild, I'm in a great training group.
Exactly. No, that's not. Yeah, but no, they at least twice I caught as I did my walk arounds that they cheated, and it was not just a miscalculation; it was a blatant cheat. And at least one of the other kids noticed, and they were watching you to see if you noticed when they gave their answer, and you didn't notice. So they were gleeful. So, and that's been variably reinforced now. Because they knew it all the time, as far as I could tell. But at least twice during that whole session, I caught that. So, if you become aware somebody's clearly cheating, and you don't think the peer oversight is working, if you think that they're going to be in cahoots, you need to let them know you need to take a break and have a conversation. Like, do you like playing this game? Yeah. You want to have fun? Well, then you need to be honest about the roles, or otherwise I'm going to do the roles for you, or you can leave the game. With cheaters, it can really be disruptive that way. But you can do the option of you do the roles.
Okay.
At least they can still play. They may not like it, and they might quit in a huff. Again, you don't want to get to that point. But I have found, remember back in the 80s, I used to do all the roles for the players. It actually made the game go faster, because I could do the math faster than everybody else.
Not me.
Yeah. And it was
Not me.
more intricate math back then than it is now. It's very simplistic now. And I'm not a math whiz at all, right? I just calculate everything, but it still was faster than waiting for everybody else to do it. But anyway, those are ways that you can do it without just kicking somebody out. If the peer group, do try the peer group thing, but watch for it. Because they're going to watch like when you're distracted when they roll. That's why I always say don't roll till I tell you to roll. Don't roll till I tell you. Because I noticed that happen a lot here too. Everybody go, well, what's the first thing you learn in recreation therapy with groups?
That having everyone do something at once doesn't always work out.
Yeah, like if you have to actually see what the results are and such, you're supposed to do it one at a time. Okay, now you do it, now you do it, now you do it, now you do it. Structure that. I think that will make the biggest difference with that group for you, is getting everybody to follow the talking stick turn taking better. And then that can help with the cheating too. Because then if you're paying attention to one person at a time so you get distracted, it's a lot harder for them to cheat.
Yep.
So, but if you have to, short of kicking them out, you can say, I'm going to roll that for you for now. Right? And then they might get the message like, oh, well, if I want to be able to do the rolls myself, I better stop cheating. So it's something to consider in your escalation process.
Okay.
But cheating cannot be allowed to keep going on. It's not fair to all the rest of the players. For the murder hobo, he didn't really get to be a major murder hobo. I think you handled it as well as you could. Say, hey, we're trying to keep it to PG. That's fine. Murder hobos are going to be murder hobos as long as they're not like making everybody else furious because they're killing everybody. Like they're killing all the NPCs. Like here, you're supposed to encourage to kill them.
He was ran off into where no one else was, and so his actions only had a thing on him and anyone who was listening.
Well, I was
to
going to
his
start
talk.
escalating that.
Understood. And it's just kind of over, but like if we were in a town setting, and he went murder hobo, the players are going to get really frustrated. And that's where you have a conversation like, hey, we're supposed to play together here. You know, so, but you did, under the circumstances, you did fine. You handled that accordingly. As I said, John, for the most part, other than just at the break, it was a conversation. Was that helpful?
Yeah.
Yes, Dan.
Okay. I think the whole murder hobo aspect did have an impact on the game, but since it wasn't sorry, hold on 1 minute. Since it wasn't on the game master's side, the encounter with the wolf was, I think, the prime example of that, because, well, once you shoot an arrow at the wolf, that's that. That's the escalation. No more endo animal rolls for us. We're having combat.
Right.
I just didn't bring it up to the time not to interrupt, and because my character probably has a bad history with
Yeah.
dogs.
Well, and a campaign that's kind of action heavy, it's hard for murder hobos to look bad.
Yeah.
Compared to being in town or something where they go crazy on it.
So
Yeah,
we
that's
usually
tricky.
get to this point, like at least the dogs, when I run through from the beginning, and I'd say it's 50-50 on people whether they are killing the dogs or either befriending them or leaving them alone.
Okay.
In that category.
And I know that we could have befriended it.
Yeah.
That's why I made sure that I was always at the front of the party.
Yeah.
And always
Being a
attacking.
murder hobo. Yeah.
I
Over
wanted to
time,
make
it would
sure-
become very clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I hope that was helpful feedback so far.
Yeah.
I
And the only
know-
reason I said Munchkin is because he took
Sure.
whatever weapon he came
Understood.
across.
Understood. That's just Dan's tactician side.
Well, I figured because I've got only 20 arrows, I wanted to make sure that
Yeah.
I had enough to kill more.
Sure, you bet. You bet. Makes total sense.
I like to make a suggestion
Yes.
about your Spark group.
Yes.
Because or turn taking and all that stuff is more difficult. One of the things I've been thinking about is they don't roll initiative. Their initiative is based on where they're at. There's what, 6 of them?
It
There's-
depends. There's the
Yeah.
4 core, and then there's the one that
Nick.
shows up half of the time.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then there's Nick, and then
Yeah.
there's usually one other person that drops in and then
Yeah.
runs off.
Well, for the example, we'll say 6. You can roll a die 8 for the monsters for their initiative, and just put the monster in order. So the only thing that changes the order is the monster. The players stay in the exact same order they're sitting in. That way, it's faster, and everybody knows whose turn is going to be next, no matter what. There's no, I got to go there, then over there, then over there, over there.
And you've seen me do that a lot, where I just
Yeah.
use placement order
Yeah.
for asking questions, everybody talking one turn at a time.
And to tell you the truth, I'd really like to see that group play Adventures in Middle Earth. I think it would change their view.
But you got to convince them to do it.
Yeah.
Because right now D&D has the cachet.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, and my only suggestion to get them to play Adventures in Middle Earth is after you played this for a little while, you say, you know what, you guys are good enough. You're ready for the advanced Dungeons and
Right.
Dragons version of the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Make it seem like it's the elite.
We're gonna add another layer.
Well, some of them, they're not ready for that complexity to say it that way. But you could say, you guys are elite enough. Let's do the elite version. Some
I'm
of them,
And
sorry.
are you worried about doing what is it? Action reinforcement. What is it?
Yeah, reinforcement.
Yeah, are you worried about reinforcement with 5th edition? Is why you want to move the aim?
Kind of. It just helps me railroad them a little bit better into,
Heroic behavior.
yeah.
Instead of, yeah.
Because, like, right now, they're not really doing anything bad. They have one person who always runs up and, like, they blew a hand off of an orc, and then that person followed the orc as it ran off screaming to try to fix its hand. And that person's constant thing is hugging. So he
Is it a
keeps
bad
trying
thing
to hug all of the enemies that are actively trying to attack them.
It's Dr. Leo Buscalia trying to love everyone.
Okay.
It's probably too old a reference except for maybe John.
I mean, he'll get hit with an arrow and still try and hug that same
Okay. Well,
goblin.
for stuff like that, I would try to, I would basically escalate like this is not good behavior and basically reinforce it with the reactions of the enemies, and that's generally how I do it with my own game. For example,
It's not going to stop him. I've had many of orcs like screaming as they're being hugged.
Not screaming.
Let's get moving here. It's 11 o'clock, so we've got an hour left.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have changed everybody up. Everybody's different. It's not the same.
Okay, let me.
So it will be completely different ones. The only one that you know is safe is Dan in Brazil.
Thank you for being my friend, Dan.
Huh, you can send him private messages, right?
Yeah, I can send Dan private messages if he notices, but I'm not going to do it. It's too difficult remote right now to do that, so let the remote players just be.
Oh no, I was just
status.
saying that to make her paranoid.
I know. It's bad enough with the 4 of us, so. All right, let's get underway. Everybody now take on your new personas.
Okay, and you guys have split the party. It is difficult to walk through, and just to recap so that way, because we've been gone for a few minutes. The water is up and slightly into the both cave bottoms, or cropping bottoms. Yeah, and then and all of the pathways are covered, so it is a hard movement to go through there, which means that that line, there's only one step between that 5 feet that is not difficult to move. If that makes sense. So that way we are all on the same page. So whoever is the rules lawyer this time.
No, it'll be all different archetypes.
Oh,
Not the same. It's not the same as jumbled. It's all different.
Oh,
New ones.
okay.
Yeah. Get you as much exposure as possible. Hopefully won't die of exposure.
So, let's go ahead and go with order of people around the table, just to restart. We'll put Dan first in Brazil. So, can we point to his menu real quick? So we all know locations. Okay, so you are with the 3 that are going up into the new passageway. You 3, you 3 are on. It's a hallway meeting another hallway, and there's some light coming out of your left-hand side. What do you do, Dan?
I go up there.
Aggie?
Pull out a torch or something to look around.
Dan in Brazil?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was muted the whole time. I'm very sorry. I understand is that I am between Baba and Robbie in the tunnel, right?
Yes.
Well, Robbie's not there.
So,
No, that's not Robbie. Is it?
I will actually try to proceed ahead of Baba a little bit, probably passing in between the legs, and then look upwards and motion for him to stop as he looks over to the source of the light, trying to remain sneaky while trying to see what lies to his left-hand side.
So we're gonna have you roll stealth since you're trying to be sneaky. I'm gonna have you roll stealth. What? Oh, +7. Well, you rolled 19, so that's 26. So you are very stealthy.
Do I hear him move behind me?
No.
He's between your legs and you don't see him.
So you're pointing off to where there's light, correct?
Correct.
Do I see him pointing off to the light? I can't.
You're in front of him, correct?
Yes.
Yes, you see him pointing because he's obviously doing it so that you can see him. But you just like barely see.
So I roll investigation to look to determine what I can see.
So are you inching forward to look into there?
Yes. As much as I can.
This large cave is divided in half by a 10-foot high cliff. A steep natural staircase leads from the lower portion to the upper edge. The air is hazy with smoke, a cooking fire, and pungent from the smell of poorly cured hides and unwashed goblins. And you see, we use those 2 plus these 2. And you see 4 goblins in that first area.
You actually point them out to the bar and whisper, "Goblins ahead."
Okay.
I can hear you.
And I already lost it. John, your character, what is he?
Pyrogen.
You
Pyrogen.
should probably come up with
To where?
back so we can all join back to one group instead of splitting the party.
Oh, sure.
So, where are you?
I'm back here.
Okay.
So 5 feet gets me to the edge, and then it's
15.
yeah, 15, 25. I'm still in the water, so I'm gonna have to use double move just to get out. That's 10. Then it's 20. As far as I can go, because I can't pass through there. So I did a double move to get out across.
All right. Babar.
Can I see all those goblins?
Yes.
Okay.
It's hazy. Maybe the furthest one is you think it's there.
Okay.
So.
Do I happen to notice them noticing me?
Not yet.
Okay.
They do look oddly armed, though, to the teeth.
Ah. By arms.
There's 6 armed goblins.
So, Egg, I think we should probably, it seems we could easily avoid these goblins if they haven't noticed us yet. To just right on by to the right.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the suggestion of the talking.
Can I speak in normal voice? You can hear me.
Hawk, I think your keyboard is being picked up on the mic louder than...
No, I don't.
Oh no.
No, he just can't hear him.
Yeah.
Where the that one? Just turn it on.
Why are there 2 different arms?
One is a bass clip. Just go to the middle one.
Okay.
Just get rid of the background rumble. So do a sound check now, so you can hear you better.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you better now.
How about me? Am I good? Hello?
Hello? Yes, I'm speaking. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I can hear you fine.
Okay, good.
So, as I was saying, if we just sneak right on by, we can easily avoid these goblins that haven't noticed us yet. So I think we should do that.
I certainly can. He looks at the ball with a little bit of doubt.
That's fair. Don't worry about me.
It seems like he's going to follow the plan.
He seems what?
As if he'll follow the plan. He can sneak on by and pass, if I understood correctly.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll your stealth.
Okay. Okay.
Why are you rolling
Disadvantage.
There's armor. I'm saying this
So, okay, so 8.
8. You make a little bit of noise.
Passive perception is 9.
You notice that he's making a lot more noise than you think he should be.
May I act out of turn? Just a simple action to, gesture for him to stop and it's okay, I can do that, I can do it.
Okay. Yes. All right. Yes. I've just always put it at. Oh yeah. Perfect. I have it right there. All right. Robbie.
Okay. I'm 5, 10, 15, 20. Can I see up this area?
Actually, that's still covered in water.
It is.
Yes.
So it's just double.
Am I in water?
You're in water, so it's and it's rushing pretty hard, so it's 10.
Okay, so I was here.
Yes,
5, or is this?
that's 10.
That's 10. Okay.
Because there's still water rushing down.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm gonna do a double move, and I'm gonna try and climb up with the.
Do you?
I want to see what's over there.
So are you going to try and climb through the wolves that you piled up earlier?
They're still burning.
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna move them out of the way.
To bring them all that way.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my greatsword to get them out of the way.
Okay.
Okay, that's going to be your action, is getting over there and moving.
Okay.
All right. Euclidus.
I'll just wait and see what the others do.
So are you going to hold your action, or are you just going to...
You could do what we're
So
doing.
you have to define what what you're going to do if something else happens.
I'll just move up here and
Uh-huh.
follow behind.
So you're going to follow them directly behind? Okay. And Iggy.
Hi, yes?
You noticed that he was loud. You told him to wait. And it is now your turn again.
You try to sneak past the goblins into whatever passages might reveal themselves just to get a better look, and trying to avoid the light of the fires, if at all possible.
Okay. So you can go up the other passageway. So can we move him as far as he would go? Can you count out loud?
5, 10, 15.
It would be 25.
Okay, I think you. Did you want to get a better look? That's all you. Oh, wait, never mind. Yeah. Okay. 25.
Okay. So that's your basic movement. If you can see where you are on the screen, you can go a little further, but you won't have any action.
You keep an action prepared should anything bad come by, a goblin, a wolf, or anything, ready to shoot it should it is detected. Is
Okay.
that possible?
Yes.
That's it, basically. Do I need to roll stealth?
You rolled it before, correct? Yeah, we're going off of your.
I did before.
We're going off of your 26.
Right. Sounds fair.
All right.
About it.
Can you put the phone away?
Oh, sure.
All right, and it is your turn.
Okay.
You know, if you come up there with us, we might be able to beat all the goblins because we have.
So,
Are we fighting the goblins? Or
Well-
I thought we were sneaking past
I-
them.
I don't know if I can.
Bradley,
That is me.
they're great suggestions, but it is his turn, so
Okay.
he can make.
Okay, thank you. So, move me 30 feet closer.
10.
No, this is in water. Oh, this is rough terrain after
Yeah.
line. That's right.
10.
Oh, and I can only go 25 feet.
So right behind.
I can't. Well,
No, one more forward. There we go.
and can I see goblins?
No, there's a lot of bodies in the way.
Oh, okay. Are they dead bodies?
No, they're your companions.
Not quite dead yet.
We don't have the pile of dead bards yet.
With a hat.
Barbar.
Okay. So, Egg just went down that pathway.
Yep.
And.
And if you move, you're going to be loud.
Oh, okay. So if I can't move. Ooh.
You can move. You
I-
just have to realize you're gonna make noise doing it.
Okay. So. Does that mean I just need to move really quickly? Just get out of there as soon as possible?
Well, you'd be leaving your compatriots behind, wouldn't you?
I can. Yeah.
Unless you'd like to try to be stealthier.
Sure, I'll try to be stealthier.
Okay.
See if I can. I'm not going to. Oh, okay.
What did?
And that was a 20. 14.
Okay. And that is a. What's on the dice, real quick?
15.
Okay, and so you have a -1.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, you are much more sneaky when you take that first step.
Sweet. So I'm going to just try to go around the corner and meet with Egg.
Okay.
10, 15, 20. I'll just stay with Egg.
All right. And Robbie.
Okay, I want to climb up the chimney.
Okay.
I want to see what's at the top of it.
Okay, so it is. Or I'm sorry, I almost said no thank you evil rolls. Go ahead and roll your climb.
Athletics.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2, 4.
4 total.
Yes.
Okay. You climb up it a little bit and then slide right back down.
Okay.
It's really loose in there.
Just try and go around the corner and follow us.
So, can I do anything else? Was that just my movement?
That was your movement.
Okay.
All right, and your action. Well, that was your action. You hadn't gone anywhere, so you still have all but 5.
Would I be able
feet.
to pull out an item?
Yes.
I'd like to pull out my iron pot,
Okay.
and I want to bang on it as loud as I can.
You know you shouldn't do that. That's a bad idea.
All right.
I want my party members to know where I am.
Okay. So you bang on your pot as loud as you can.
Yeah. How much acoustics do I have in this room?
Well, it echoes in that room, but the roar of the water kind of makes it not go very far.
Okay.
Except for maybe up the chimney.
Mm-hmm.
That's right where he's at.
Yeah.
Can I hear him? Can I get a perception check to see if I hear him?
Sure. Go ahead and roll a perception, everyone.
Nice.
Dan, you don't hear anything.
Whoa.
Oh.
12.
12. You do not hear.
21. I'm way
You
up there,
hear
though.
some banging. You don't know where it's coming from. It's echoing in the cavern.
14.
You hear yourself. And did you roll? 7? Is everything okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Guess what comes sliding down the chimney? A goblin comes sliding down the chimney and is standing right next to you.
Okay.
The goblin. Hi.
Okay.
All
Does he
right.
take damage from falling?
Eucridus. It is your turn.
You sound like the way she pronounces it, you sound like a religious.
I'm trying. You wrote
As in
Eucridus.
erudite.
I am. This is the part.
It's not the Eucharist.
This is the part that is my disability to a T.
Okay. Get the hang of that. Okay. So probably what he said, I think I'll just.
Riley.
Yeah.
He's doing his own thing.
I was just checking his stealth.
Yeah, but he can do that. It's perfectly fine. So I do need you to roll a stealth check.
Okay.
What did you roll?
It's plus
20. 18 plus 2, so 20.
Okay. Perfect. So you were really, really sneaky. Great job. All right. Then we go back to Egg.
Egg will probably look behind him, not quite believing that he's seeing. You give the bard a thumbs up. He did not expect you to be that sneaky on this kind of armor. And then you proceed on ahead.
Okay.
Until he finds some trouble.
All right. And you still have your bow knocked back, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
And I'll just make a... Well, actually, if he doesn't find anything on his one move, he'll take a double move.
Okay.
10,
Up until he sees some trouble.
15, 20, 25.
Stop right there. So you see a goblin on the bridge.
Don't you let I have all these
Does
things?
he see me?
Not yet. But there is he's looking down the river. And
One of them goblin and
I'm sorry, Dan, you're gonna have to say that again.
Oh, right. One of them goblin ambushes then. Do I still have my action or have I already exceeded my one move?
No, you still have your action.
I'll try to... Can I... In fifth edition, can I sneak attack with a ranged weapon?
There has
Yes.
to.
Yes.
Well,
I
yes.
do
But,
believe.
oh, actually, yeah. Never mind. Yeah. You can.
No, in D&D you can.
Yeah.
5e. Alright, so you get a advantage. So I'll roll both your die. First roll is 6. And the second roll is 18. So, 18, I'm sorry, I lost your character sheet. In all the page flipping.
Bonus attack.
I'm sorry?
Well, I've just informed that the short bow has a +5 bonus to attack if it
Plus-
hasn't been computed yet. I'm sorry.
Plus 5 to his attack.
Yeah, so it's 18 plus 5, which is 23. So you hit. And it's a d6 plus 3. Correct?
Right. And do I have a sneak attack bonus or...
The sneak attack is advantage in here.
No, in 5e it's
Oh,
plus
right,
2d6. Or
Okay, so
I thought it was the advantage.
if he's attacking from hiding,
Yes.
or if there's a reason that the monster doesn't know he's there, then he can have advantage on his attack. The sneak attack is the extra die 6 of damage that he gets for
having advantage.
anybody. Yeah, if he has advantage, or if there's somebody who's next to the opponent, he gets the extra damage from
Oh.
sneak attack. So sneak attack equals the damage. The advantage would be because he's attacking from hiding.
And nobody here is a rules lawyer. He's just being helpful.
Yeah, I just I haven't had this happen very often because
Corrected.
Yeah.
a lot of the kids that I've been running with, it hasn't happened since I came back. Let's just put it to you that way.
Yep. That's why I'm here to refresh.
Exactly. So it was the first die was 2, the second die was 4, and then plus your 3, so that's 9. And that is a silently dead goblin. He doesn't even know what happened.
Does he fall to the ground?
Yep, he falls to the ground.
Into the water. Splish!
Yep, into
Sweet.
the water. Falls right over the thing. Yep. Go ahead and put him out in the... Thank you for helping, Riley.
Yeah.
All right. Next is John. What does your character do?
I don't know. Should I go back and help him? Should I?
Do you?
You should
Yeah.
kind of sneak around the corner then.
I should try to sneak around the corner. Okay.
Yeah, because you don't know what's going on behind you.
Right.
You do know that everyone else has gone around the corner. And you actually might not have known if he stayed behind or if he went forward at this point.
I don't know. Okay, so I attempt to sneak forward.
Okay.
And 3.
3. So, go ahead and make your movement.
And this is double, right?
Yeah, right.
So that's 10, 20, 25.
The goblins see you.
Then I like to take my action.
All right.
Nearest goblin, dex saving throw versus sacred fire.
Okay.
Sacred flame.
14.
Darn it!
These are some Dexy people.
Yeah, I have to. 13 is the goal.
That's-
I mean, they have to roll a 12, so I got 2 more than absolutely missed.
Maybe. Okay. So, that was your turn. Barbar. The goblins see your compatriot and have made a lot of noise behind you.
Okay, everyone, let's all go back and fight all these goblins.
Did you say that out loud?
In character.
I was
In
about
character?
to say it in character. Okay, everyone, let's go back. We have to fix mistakes that have been made.
The
What's a
goblins.
mistake? I just rolled backwards.
Okay.
And I'm going to move now. It's gonna be 10.
By the way, if you want to make life easier, you can slide that map closer to you.
That's fine.
Since you're the
10.
one that's
15.
moving a lot of people.
Thanks.
This doesn't count as a movement.
I just hold my piece and just move the entire map.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you got there.
I'll levitate.
Gotcha.
Push me.
That's cool. This guy was probably he's off the map.
Are
now.
you sure everything's okay, Hawk?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
And I'm just gonna use a great axe on this man right in front of me.
Okay.
Okay, I do not hit. I got a 7.
Plus?
That's it. I got a 2 plus 5.
Okay, I thought it was on 7 on the dice.
Nope.
Just a 2.
Alright. Robbie.
Okay, I'm gonna run back to a double move with the pot in my hand.
Okay.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Okay. The water is off of the path.
So I'm not on the path yet.
I know. I'm just letting you know that right there you can see that the water has receded off of the path.
No longer
Okay,
double
so
movement.
no more double move.
On the path. So the path next to the river.
So it's here.
Yes.
Okay, so it's gonna take me double the movement.
In the water.
Not a problem.
Okay.
So that was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25,
Mm-hmm.
35,
Mm-hmm.
45, 55,
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
60. I double
All
moved.
right. You are gone.
Is the goblin following me?
Well, you can't see that yet. As a matter of fact,
You get some dice.
Nope, double moved.
the goblin is not following you, to what you know. Go ahead and hand me that goblin. Someone knows where he is.
He's right here.
All right. Huck. It is your turn. Are you sure everything's okay?
I'm gonna go check with that.
You could probably just attack from back there.
Turn in between the gap between there, and I'll do an ice bolt to that one there.
Okay.
6.
6 to hit. Is there... Okay. That does not hit. All right. Egg.
Did I see the altercation going on behind him?
Yes, especially since Barbar said something out loud.
Oh, very well.
So
And I
you
got a 3
heard...
on my stealth.
Yeah, you heard...
It's only
You basically heard him say,
17 too.
"Oh look, we have to go back."
So he'll go back. He's kind of in a hurry, but still making a single move to try and make sure he doesn't get ambushed on the way. And if he can see any goblins he can take a shot at, he'll try. Preferably if he can try to hide himself behind the silhouette of Baba, which I believe would stand in the way and provide him for cover. And also addition of stealth, because he's a halfling and he has naturally stealthy in a sense to hide when you are controlled by a creature that is at least one size larger than you.
Yep.
5, 10,
Yeah,
15.
You can see
20.
him there at
25.
20.
That's where he's at 25.
Oh no, you can't see him. The wall comes in. Sorry, that was an illusion. Okay, that's 25.
Minor illusion.
So you can, you just see your party gathered at the end. And you can't see any goblins through them at this point. So would you move the double action?
yeah, I'll actually move closer just so he's right behind them, trying to keep it stealthy to not warn the goblins, but still trying to signal to any party members that can see him that, yeah, he's here to help.
Okay. Who's the blue? That would be Hawk, right? Yep.
He's blue.
Go ahead and roll your perception real quick just to see if you see him, since he's waving-ish at you.
9.
9? Nope. You don't notice that your party member has came up behind you.
Okay.
And who is in the armor? Yep. Alright. Go ahead and roll to see if you see him. Real quick.
22.
You do see him come up behind you. Okay. And now it is your turn.
Let's see. Should I throw an axe? Should I run up and smash him in the head with a hammer? Cast a spell?
You could knock that guy off the cliff.
With my hammer?
Well,
I thought he was on the stairs.
was he on the stairs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's on the stairs then.
I can knock him down the stairs then.
Sure.
Mhm.
Sure.
So, do
Huh?
your movement first.
Okay. So okay. Just move me up there.
5, 10.
And I'm going to hit him with my war hammer
Okay.
of smashing small people. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 to hit.
All right. That is a hit.
Alright, and
6.
plus 2.
2.
Bludgeoning.
That is a dead goblin that falls down the stairs.
I guess I knocked him down the stairs. Is that how you wanted me to do it?
That's exactly how I wanted you to do it.
Okay. You can see this. How many goblins are in the cavern? 4, 3? Well, 3
left.
alive, 1 dead.
Yeah, he's outside of that.
Alright.
Just so you know, I'm rolling with the black and red dice. This is only out there for disadvantages.
Okay. So in the back, where you put this guy, and you can see him, he's bound.
Do I have a tied-up guy in the miniatures?
I didn't see one.
He's a
when
very
I
big tied-up
searched
guy.
through real quickly.
I hope he hasn't got misplaced.
And then this guy is standing right next to him.
So another goblin.
Yep. And oh no, in the back of the other cave, upper cave. No, back. So the stairs.
Oh, let's go up?
Yeah.
Ah,
10 feet.
gotcha.
And he's in the back, so far corner. Yep, there we go.
Okay.
And then this goblin is on the top of the ledge.
Gotcha. I see now.
Okay, and you're the only one that can see these goblins and this human that's tied up. All right. Riley, what does Barbar do?
Alright, that's what I have.
I am going to come over to get out of the way for people behind me to this goblin, and I am going to try to slash at him with my great axe again.
Okay.
I have to restart the menus again.
14.
14. That is not a hit.
Dang.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out my shovel.
Okay.
I'm gonna start smacking my shovel against my iron pot to make as much noise as possible.
All right. And
Do you think it'd be louder if I smacked it against the wall?
The shovel or the pot?
Yes.
if you were to hit both of them, maybe.
That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to get as much noise as possible.
Okay. Go ahead and hit the pot and the shovel against the wall. All right. So you guys hear with clarity. This.
I was looking for a 1.
Uh-oh. Somebody set off the alarm.
Riley, I'm having a hard time seeing Dan. Could you sit down for me, please?
Sorry.
Thank you. All right. Hawk.
Yeah.
What does... Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped the goblins.
We don't need them.
We forgive you.
That's
That was
okay.
on purpose.
They wildly flay their blades around, except for the one on top. He shoots an arrow. It hits the ground right at your feet.
Whose feet?
Yours, Hawk.
Okay.
Not
Which one shot at me?
you. The one up on the ledge. You can't. You just saw that. No.
This one?
Yeah, you just saw an arrow come down from above.
I can't see him.
Not very clearly.
Okay. This one's close to me, though, right?
Yep.
I'll try to frostbolt.
Okay.
4.
You have any better spells?
Do you have any better rolls?
That's the problem with the roll. That's just my life.
You can proxy roll.
That's what the GM do all the rolls to be
And
She's rolling great on saving throws.
So
I
I'm
am.
leaving icicles all over the cave.
yeah, they're just on the top. There's just a bunch of icicles. And egg. You're muted.
Oh, thanks for reminding me. So I'd just like to know, there's quite a lot of things around here. Could you find out where Egg is and where Baba is?
This is Egg, and this is Barbar.
You
For a lot
moved
of things.
away, but you're still kind of in the shadows of Hawk's player. Their character player.
Player.
You're really good. You're the shadow of his reputation.
It's, so the one right ahead of me is Eurydice, right?
Yes.
And the one to the right is a goblin,
Yes.
correct?
Correct.
Does it see me?
No.
Goblin is.
You were in the shadow still, so because you have the natural stealthy plus the roll you had earlier, you haven't broken stealth yet.
Yeah, this goblin looks like a problem. You'll actually shoot at it to try and have the speed tell us out from the shadows. So that would be 1d20 plus 5 for the short bow.
And you get advantage.
So 2 die 20.
And an advantage.
Yep. So 15 and then a nat 1.
I'll take the 15.
Okay.
Question: when I have advantage, I also have the lucky trait. Can I re-roll rolls that come up at once when I have advantage, or do I just take the highest
Yes,
roll?
you can re-roll that nat 1.
Do you want to?
Doesn't cost him anything to do it.
But
So,
I have
you could get a nat
to
20.
take it if I re-roll that, but I have advantage. So how would that work? Would I?
You get a third die, essentially.
Oh, right. Then re-roll that then. please.
All right. You got a 7. So
Right.
15 still?
So,
And you have your bow out, so I'm guessing that you're shooting with your bow.
yep.
Okay.
That 2d6 plus 3 piercing because of sneak attack.
Yep. So we have 4, 3. So that's 4 and a 3, so that's 7, And then 10?
Yep.
Okay. So that is a dead goblin.
Alright, great.
Which one?
Murderer.
The one right in front of him.
This one?
Yeah, the
Yep.
itty bitty one.
It's so small you can't even turn it over.
That's good.
All right.
Question: How high are the ceilings?
So the ceilings are 20 feet.
Okay.
The first level, or the second level starts at 10 feet.
Gotcha.
And there are handholds to get up the cliff if you need be, but it will take some acrobatics. That'll be your action for the turn if you do that. All right. Go ahead, John.
That goblin's on the other side of the wall.
Hmm. I mean, you can see him. You're the only one that can see up there. You're the only one that knows there's 2 more goblins.
You could throw your hand axe at him.
The one that's closest?
The one that's up the.
And that guy's technically at the bottom of the stairs. The one that's laid down.
Well, I can throw my hand axe 20 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's
could
only
hit
10 feet
him because you're halfway up the stairs.
So I can actually hit him with my warhammer.
If you go all the way up the stairs, you could. So it's another 5 feet.
Okay.
up. That does more damage.
Because you haven't
too.
used your movement yet.
Should I do that?
Sure. You gotta roll a d20. Add 4.
19 plus 4. 23.
23, yep.
Not crit though.
No, not a crit.
Close.
D8.
Yeah, I know which die to
Here.
roll. I don't know where my die 8 is. What do I do with it? It's on the floor or something. Ah! I'll take that 8.
That is a
plus
dead
2,
goblin.
10. Oh, now I gotta take my warhammer.
All right. And, Riley, for your turn, what do you do?
Okay, so I've used my great axe twice, missed both times. Are there any icicles hanging from the ceiling above either of the goblins left?
Yes. Yes, there is.
And they're not within reach, so from the
Nope.
ceiling. Can I throw my javelin at it?
Well, the problem is that you have a weapon in your hand,
Okay.
so you have to drop the weapon, and then, so it would be at your feet, you wouldn't have it.
Okay.
Guys, we're in story mode. Alright, so, yes. Or you could potentially throw your,
Ooh, my great axe at it? That's probably a bigger.
yeah, who knows where the great axe will land?
Ooh, that can land on their head too. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna throw my great axe at these icicles.
You're scaring me.
Okay. Well, too bad. They're all dead. Oh yeah, that's a 23.
Okay. Yeah, you hit the icicle. And, it comes down. Let's see if it
20
hits. Go ahead. Actually, I'm gonna have you roll for the
Okay.
icicle.
That's a 19.
That icicle hits. We're gonna say that it does a D4.
Okay. 4.
All right. And now,
Well-
let's see if your great axe hits
some-
something as it comes down.
Not 20.
It was ricocheted out of
What are you, Captain America, throwing axes instead of shields?
The other goblin that's standing right next to him takes your great axe.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll what your great axe normally does.
5 damage.
Okay.
Is that considered a
Oh wait,
crit?
yeah, because I gotta.
It
Oh,
is
yeah,
a crit.
it is a
And
crit.
Roll it again.
Okay.
We don't add any other modifiers.
Okay, 7 damage total.
That, yeah, that is a dead goblin. You wounded the one.
Okay.
And the other one that took your great axe has it sticking out of its head.
Okay.
And that was 5 damage for the first one, correct?
4, because I only rolled a d4.
Captain Phandelver.
Captain Phandelver. All right.
Okay, how much acoustics was I getting in from my current location?
A lot. A lot of acoustics.
I continue.
You get a cool point.
Yay!
All right.
Actually, can you think of anything that I can do to make it even louder?
No. I can't. Can you?
I don't have any explosives.
Can you sing?
You're trying to make all the goblins come after us?
Yeah.
Why?
More XP.
Where are
Can
you?
we handle all of them?
We're awesome.
We're awesome.
Okay.
We've got this guy throwing axes. Two-handed axes. We got
Captain
this.
Phandelver will protect us.
Alright.
Okay.
I continue.
Continue. Well, if you come up further, it would probably be louder.
I come up further.
Okay.
In fact, as I climb, I'm banging.
All right. So that's gonna, even on the terrain right in front of you, that would have been not so harsh. You're gonna have to do double because
I do a
to try not to trip.
I-
Actually, yeah. Roll your acrobatics to try not to trip. Let's do that. While you're focusing on banging.
18.
Nope, you're fine. So you're just banging up the wall. All right. It is the goblin's turn, and I need more minis.
Is she gonna get us all killed?
Oh.
You'll be fine.
Because avalanche is down to
Did you get your spell slot back?
Well,
Okay.
Did you drop mage armor?
so if I drop mage armor, they'll be able to hit me easier.
But you'll be able to cast it again once you cast it. If you need it, you can always cast it
But
again.
they always get to attack before I do.
But they haven't attacked you yet, so you haven't
I
even
don't
used
have
it.
a much better spell.
Well, your mage armor asks for 8 hours, right?
So,
Yeah, but
So it's still going on. Actually,
you're
it
saying I
might.
should drop it.
Well, is there a concentration spell? So he can
so you can get his spell slot back.
Doesn't work that
It
way.
doesn't work that way. Okay. Trying to think where all the goblins are and how many there are where.
Do you need help?
No, I need a brain. Okay. So we have a goblin that is coming.
For the dinner bell. Come and get 'em.
Bring out your dad.
No,
This is just for movement purposes, so that way I make it.
Don't forget the
Thing.
big bad and his pet.
I don't want the big bad as a pet. John, shush.
That was a stabilization thing, John.
Oh, okay.
All right, and Hawk, it is your turn.
Okay. What about this one? Any third shot?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, I'll fire a icicle with it.
It's the same thing.
Or,
You make more icicles.
Oh.
okay, make more icicles on the wall about it.
I can use these.
And Dan, it is your turn. Riley, can you have your wolves? You made lots and lots of icicles. Unless you'd like to move somewhere.
I think about as safe as I'm
I
gonna be.
think it's not
Safer if you drop mage armor.
wow.
I'm sorry, Dan. I cannot hear you at all.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wow, we're quite badly surrounded, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, you can only see what's in your line of sight, so can we point at him? Okay, so you know that there's one goblin in front of you. There's one, you can, because you're stealth, I'm guessing that you're looking everywhere and trying to stay in that shadow. Behind you, you can see one goblin, which just so happens to look like Yoda, so you can call him Yoda if you're hitting the one behind you.
It is Yoda.
It literally is Yoda.
And you know that there was an arrow that landed at the foot of the person whose shadow you're standing in front of. From above.
From the guy coming up behind me?
No, from the guy from above. Inside of that cavern.
You should see what's up in the cavern. Go down to us. What's up there?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Sorry.
Can you say that again, Dan?
He'll shoot the one that shot his friend because he's the one he gets friend.
Okay. So you're gonna plunk an arrow up into where you can't see?
Can I see him? I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
You can't see, you just knew that an arrow came down from above.
Oh, right. And who shoots at the nearest goblin? The goblin nearest to Veronica.
Okay.
I think it was right to the right.
Erotica.
That's Erudicus.
That's close enough.
Hey,
Okay.
better than being blasted.
as an erudite.
Alright, we're gonna roll
Not
a d20.
erotica as in erotic.
How about neurotica?
That's an 11 plus 5 equals 16. You hit. And that's. Oh wait, I didn't roll twice. I have to roll twice because you're still like when you kill someone, you're still able to be in cover because no one. You get their attention.
So
And
if you have it,
If you can justify that nobody's seen him make the kill, then you can say he's still in the cover.
yeah.
You can also claim he has to re-roll each time.
Okay.
Is he attacking that one?
The other one's a 3. So, yeah, and until you think that you would be out of stealth for any reason, like right now with the one coming up behind you and you shooting at another goblin.
I think this is going to be my last turn of stealth until I do him, but still trying to get the best out of it.
Yep.
For my friend.
Okay, so you would hit with the 1. So, 2d6. We have a 5. We have a 6. And we have 3 more. That is a dead goblin.
Which one?
That one. That one. Okay.
So far I've used 5 arrows. I assume I still have 15 left, right? Yeah, I have 15 left.
Yep. I was like, I do not know what of the... Or no, what... Yeah, 15. If you used 5.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And that's it, mostly.
Mm-hmm. All right. John, what does your character do?
There's no goblins in the room.
Well, you see the one goblin up top with the guy.
The guy's hiding there.
Mm-hmm.
Should I go say hello?
Well, it is your turn, so you just do what feels right for your character. I mean, earlier you were being quite decisive, and
Earlier before the break?
That break
Different
changed
group,
us.
yeah.
okay, I didn't.
Yeah, you don't want to use the previous.
Okay.
That will screw things.
I was trying to figure out a way to say,
Yeah.
Do I have line of sight on him?
yes.
Alright, I'm going to use my big spell.
Ooh.
Okay.
Guiding Bolt. No, I don't think. Well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe possible. Does a 9 hit him? Darn. That was a waste of my big spell. See, this is why I don't want to make. Yeah, thanks.
Far
Okay.
more.
It was a bad decision.
Oh, it wasn't too bad. I mean, it could have been awesome. There's always that chance.
Move me in 30 feet. Or 25 feet.
Towards him?
Yes.
10. Not in front of him. Or,
I'm confused.
How did you count that?
he was
I was on the stairs.
here. Oh, wait. 5, 10, 15.
I see the actual map. There's an error on that map.
There's a bunch of errors on that map.
How can it be in there? Oh, no, wait. That's up.
You were here.
Right, that's elevated. So we went up the stairs.
Yeah, you went up the stairs. You killed
Okay.
the guy that was standing here.
Alright, so. Just doesn't look right. Maybe I'm bad at drawing. Okay, anyways, yeah, sure. I'm up. I guess I'm up in his face.
And you have no action.
Well, I have a free action, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If you have a cantrip or
Right.
something of that nature.
Yeah. Or I can just say.
No, boo boo.
Surrender.
So you just missed your spell.
Well, that was a warning shot. I didn't have to miss the second time. Surrender!
If you
I
have
will
a
not
second time.
miss a second time.
Because you can't.
All right.
As I
Second
stare at my eye,
time.
because they're both short. Actually, I'm a little taller than he is.
Yep. Barbar. Where are you?
I'm right here.
Okay. So
Everyone's
you did
dead.
see. Yeah. What you see is your companion disappeared up the stairs. Your axe is embedded in someone's head. And you hear the ruckus that is still being made.
I'm going to ignore that. I'm just going to.
Thank you.
I'm really through that badly because
I'm going to grab the great axe,
scenario was not.
and if the goblin does not fall out of my axe, he's going to stay on it, and I am going to run up the staircase.
Okay, let me see if you have a goblin axe.
Sweet.
You have a goblin axe.
Yes. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20.
Now, what's your strength, real quick?
16 plus 3.
Okay,
Okay.
you can pull that guy along with you.
Sweet. Should I last down? 5, 10, 15, 20. I don't know if I can stand there. Well, I can just go here. 25, 30. Okay. Did
Is that a double movement?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so.
So when you yelled at him to surrender, did he surrender? Or did he just stand his ground?
Let's do. He was just waiting for his turn. Essentially, he stood his ground a little bit.
Okay. Then I am going to hit him with my goblin axe.
Okay.
Goblin
Told
side
you to
down.
surrender.
Make it a two-headed goblin axe.
You can have
Yeah.
a free action to respawn, but he chose to get splattered instead of talk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's more decisive than I am.
Get
19.
your head in like,
Oh, it looks like a 2.
That's a
Nice.
14.
It is a 14.
Okay.
1 and a 4 is 14.
It looks like a 2 from this
Well,
extreme
14.
angle.
14.
That is a 14.
Okay.
Okay. Oh yeah. That's so weird. Okay.
Remember,
Like,
nobody's playing the cheater this time.
Yeah. All right. So you hit.
That's 13 damage.
You have a two-headed axe.
Yes!
You have a 2-headed goblin
Axe
axe.
and just goblins on either side.
It is now essentially useless.
Okay, unless I remove...
Unless you remove a goblin.
Okay. Okay, and I can't remove them with my axe, because...
Should I heal them?
Yes.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
All right, Dan.
Oh.
Okay. Is the water still rushing?
It's high flow. It's a
I'm
little
jumping in.
faster. It's faster than it was.
I'm jumping in.
Okay, so you're gonna
Bored.
jump in. Okay?
Mm-hmm. And does it rush me up?
No. Not unless you.
I'm letting it wash me out.
Okay, you jump and knee slide out of there.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna say that you take some damage
Okay.
just because there's some rocks in the bottom of that.
Okay.
You take 2 hit points worth of damage.
Not a problem.
I hate to interrupt here, folks, but
It
We're
is
at 12.
we're at 12 and 1.
Let's just wrap. Yeah.
Yeah, so we need to wrap
Yeah,
up.
we need to
the thing
rewrap this
so I
round
can-
up, then we gotta do the post thing because we gotta go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
let's very quickly.
I don't think that we would have a
Goblin,
Goblin, yeah.
charging,
Charge. Sure.
magic missile, because I won't miss.
That's a good strategy.
Go for it.
You're
Magic
bad.
all 3 magic missiles into that goblin. Was it +1 or not in this version?
+1 each.
It's
It is,
so yeah.
okay.
It's
Alright,
dead.
so 5, 8, 12.
Okay.
12 hit points of damage.
Since we're just trying to wrap it up, we'll say that you were able to do that.
Alright.
Alright.
And Dan in Brazil is last action, right?
Yeah, because he's also there.
Yep.
So that is a dead.
Did
Well,
you-
no, that goblin died because you did how much damage?
12.
Yeah, that's a dead
That
goblin.
is dead.
There's no target. We're not in a target-rich environment, right?
Yep.
Alright.
So now we're done. Yeah, you
Dan,
guys don't know
want to
about
say or
the.
do as a last action?
I will turn to
Wipe them.
my newfound friend, Eradicate, and say,
You're stuck with that name. You know that.
Erudicus.
I am definitely going to make a
My
halfway
name
girl give her
is
Eradicate.
Erudicus. Omelette.
Wait.
Alright, Scramble.
Eggsy.
He made me exit, but I'm Benedict.
You might want to
Yes.
wipe some of that goblin off of you.
As my final action, once I get out here, I'd like to collapse the entire cave entrance.
Alright,
Okay,
so
so you don't know what
Danielle,
he is yet.
What was John playing?
I was doing 2 things, so.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, he was only assigned one.
But the other one was fun.
Yeah, okay. What was he doing?
I actually don't know what John was doing.
Well, the
Besides
problem is when you do 2
phone.
things, it does make it.
Besides the
more
phone
rewarding.
thing,
Yeah.
So, distracted player.
Okay, yeah.
So what was the other problem I was having? You made a comment about it.
Oh, was it figuring out where you are, or is it telling people what they're or?
I was the opposite of the person telling people to do.
Oh, you were very indecisive.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll make our own choices.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Wouldn't make. I just saw the distracted player. For the most part.
Well, you did
and I didn't
see-
forget it. And
You
it's
did
like,
see that I wasn't making my own
Now-
decisions because you made
Now,
a comment
in the real
about it.
world, you will often have multiple traits and such.
yeah.
But in your training, we're trying to get so that's why, John, you shouldn't conflate that, especially when they're starting out with this
Right.
technique, because it is confusing for them when they're trying to figure out what the traits are.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, okay.
And Riley was trying to tell everyone what to do, and
Yep.
then he tried to take over the entire game when
Yes.
I did assign him something that he could
Yes.
be useful at.
Controlling bossy player.
Yeah.
Eventually, I told him to model it after a certain someone we know.
Nuts.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I figured that.
Don't use those names.
It was a little late.
Good. That was eventually
And then-
obvious, right?
Yeah.
Dan was the murderer. Well,
No.
he
No,
was
because I-
trying to bring everything to him, and I know what he was doing, but I don't know what the name is.
Saboteur. I was trying to kill everyone in the party.
Sabotage everything. So he
Okay.
was telling me, giving me bad advice intentionally where to drop my mage shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was doing everything he could to sabotage
His last
the
action
game.
was to cave us all in.
It's
Yeah.
actually funny.
And you were
because-
the reluctant player. You were-
Withdrawn.
yeah.
Not reluctant, withdrawn. I was a withdrawn player who, unless you call on me, isn't going to do anything. And by the way, so quick feedback on each of those. I'll say on mine. The first time is okay to say, is everything okay? After that, you did it 2 more times. That is going to make them withdraw even more.
Okay, well,
It's
no,
gonna
it
make
just
them
looked
feel
like
on
you
the
got
spot.
farther away, and I
Right,
was like,
because you asked how I was doing, and a very common response is to withdraw even more
oh, okay.
if you call that out in front of everybody, because that's going to embarrass that type of player more. So you need to be careful not to single them out that way. It goes, is everything okay with you? In front of the group, because now they're going to feel even more on the spot and more likely to withdraw. Their body language is going to close up even more.
Okay.
So if you want to do that during a break, that's fine, privately. Don't, when you see somebody acting like that, don't call them out in front of everybody. You can drive them away.
Okay.
And especially
I thought you were
don't-
cold. That's
No,
also
I was
the
playing
thing.
the character of the player archetype. So,
Yeah.
and then you did it 2 more times.
Mm-hmm.
So some would leave if you do that a 3rd time. Some of these kids and such that come up, they would leave if you asked them that many times, when they already told you their answer. Even if it's true or not, even if you know better, calling them out publicly like that's humiliating for them. So don't do that whenever you can avoid that. So yeah, John with the distracted phone thing. If you're at Spark, they have a place, I believe, to go put their phones. I think, right? Double check that. I think they have a place to put their phones.
Okay.
Double check. But some places have cubbies and things like that where you put things. If they can't be trusted to put it away, then I mean, we don't want to get into the whole teacher confiscating your stuff thing, and they got to stay in touch with the parents.
Yep.
But
well, that's why I
now,
was just...
and the thing is, you could utilize his character being distracted because he was distracted by his phone, so he could miss his turn.
Yeah.
That's when I'm like, oh, well, your character was so distracted, he missed his turn. I mean, I give him a warning first of like, oh, well, you're at a penalty because your character's so distracted because you're so distracted. And then if they don't get it on that, then just possibly pass over their turn. Like, well, your character was so distracted fiddling with something, you lost your turn. So, do a slow escalation there. Try to work into the game so hopefully they'll pay more attention. For the bossy individual, he called him when he was standing and being kind of dominated that way.
And I also asked him in the beginning to, his suggestions were awesome, but if he could let them have their turn first.
Yep, and needed to keep reinforcing that though, because he was constantly telling everybody what to do. Which with him was feeding into his play style rather than stretching and growing. And even in my case, it was letting him dominate rather than stand out. And so very important. Again, that's where when you have a person like that, so the other one, the previous part of the session with all the interrupting, talking stick would have been handy.
Yep.
And with the dominating player, only talk when you have the talking stick.
Yep.
And
I'm going to have to make a
and then
talking
if has
stick
the
too.
talking stick and is trying to tell everybody what to do, go, no, just focus on what your character can do. You can't control everybody else's character. Focus on what your character can do. You may not. And then with the saboteur is a tricky one.
Yeah.
Like with the girl digging into the hole and then
You kind of have
climbing
to
up
let
on
him
the
do it
tree.
to a certain extent.
No. No. You don't let a saboteur ruin the game for everybody else.
Yeah.
If they cannot modify their behavior, you will ask them to leave. During a break or discreetly, you will take an emergency break and you will ask them, hey, is there something wrong here? Because I noticed that you're kind of sabotaging the game here for everybody. Maybe that's fun for you, but you're kind of ruining it for everybody else. Are you gonna play, as a group, or maybe do you need to go play something else by yourself?
Yeah. Like a good way.
Saboteurs you got to deal with quickly, or they ruin the game for everyone.
Yeah.
And
So when you see a player doing something like you saw with that girl, I would have in that circumstance, especially when I saw the dynamics with the parents and stuff, I said, what, she doesn't have to play. It's okay. If she doesn't want to play, she doesn't have to play. So let's go ahead and have her out of the game here. She can just watch.
Yeah.
I would do the same thing. If the saboteur's not willing to I would give them a chance to modify their behavior. Maybe they're not fully cognizant of their sabotaging. A lot of younger kids don't realize they're being sabotaging. It's a way of acting out because of circumstances in their life. So you give them a chance to do that, but if they won't modify, then you'll ask them to leave the game.
Yeah. You pretty much let me run rampant.
Yeah.
Like Hawk thought I was just being, just going off. No, I was literally from from when I get it. My plan was to get the entire cavern in on them, leave, and collapse the entire.
And the TPK would be his fault.
Yeah.
And you don't want that to happen.
Actually,
then you're going to have a lot of miserable players who're not going to want to play again.
In fact, the way that I was building it, it wouldn't have been a TPK. I was going to make it sure that I was the only one who survived.
Okay. But anyway, you get the idea on those?
Yeah.
So how would you find, anybody else, let's get your other input, John.
I'd like to know, other than saying you used to be decisive, how would you encourage me to make my own decisions?
I would... Well, in your situation, I had something else to go on. Like, usually there's at least one action that they've taken before. That's that they were, in my experience, that was semi-decisive. You're like, so get more inspiration from your character, like when you did this. So you know what your character will do. You're your
Well,
character.
that was the thing I noticed. Nobody got any inspiration the whole session.
I forgot
For
about
role-playing.
inspiration.
Yeah.
And I thought there was some good role playing going on.
There was some amazing
Yeah.
role play. I'm really
Yeah.
sorry. I forgot
It's
about
okay.
the inspiration.
I mean, that's what this is.
Yeah,
It's
and
been
see,
a while.
it's-
You've been out of it for a while, and that's how we're helping you get back
Yep,
into the
and-
groove. Was with feedback.
And when I restarted Bands of Phandelver, I had read through it, the portion that we were going to go through.
Right.
Again, and
Dan in Brazil, any
Yeah.
comments, feedback?
I really enjoyed the session, and I'm just curious if my attitude has changed for the better, or if you have any feedback on me. I know this is more about Danielle, but just so my baseline playing increases as well.
So you did fine. Again, I would work on making sure, because you're remote, you have to make sure you speak up, and I think you did fine in the second half. So I think you adjusted accordingly. Again, I'm juggling so many variables. I wasn't paying that much attention to you, Dan. I'm sorry. Did anybody notice anything about Dan that you think you could work on, or that you really thought stood out in a positive?
well, you did a great job of when you were talking in character, making sure to be in
Yes.
character.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's something that I
Most of
have
us
to work
roll
on all the
next
time.
that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Last one before I head out.
Yeah,
As
you
far
can.
as encouraging, one of the things I like to do is say, okay, well, you could do this, that, and give them 3 choices,
Mhm. Not too many.
and then, definitely no more
Yeah.
than 3.
2 or 3. Yeah.
And then, when they made a decision, compliment them on it.
okay.
Yeah.
That was a great idea.
Yeah. But without being patronizing.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
a tricky thing.
What
When
do
we
you
work
mean
with
behind-
elderly
I
and stuff, that's going to be
I
the
have
trickiest
to make
thing
more
for
than
all of
trip.
you, is not being patronizing.
Okay.
You,
Do you need
you'll
help
be
out?
surprised how easy it is
And
to
I-
fall into that. And very
Wasn't there a
sensitive.
thing that we needed? Was there a
Okay.
thing that you invited me to today?
That's the.
I'm doing a
Call of Cthulhu
broadcast
thing,
at 1. Whoever, I'm doing an unboxing of the new Cthulhu, the solo
I
adventure.
won't be here.
And anybody who wants to help make the choices can do so.
Okay.
I'm doing it to try to see if we can get people to donate a little bit. But that's at 1 o'clock. We'll be doing the unboxing of Call of Cthulhu 7th edition.
Better send out
Start
another plastic
with-
advertisement for it.
Well, I did it last night. I'll
I mean,
try to
another
do it
one.
again. Yeah.
Okay. Is this
Yeah,
it,
but
John?
was that helpful for you, Danielle? Getting all that
Yes.
feedback?
Yes, this is what I needed when I
Yeah,
came
exactly.
back, and
Exactly.
I have
That's
been.
why we do these workshops.
Yeah.
I knew I was off. I just didn't always.
So
know.
Riley, you're doing Paranoia Monday, right?
Yeah.
Woohoo!
You know?
So remember that Riley's doing Paranoia Monday.
Woo.
So was that enough sabotaging for you?
Doubled up on you.
Yeah, ish.
Yeah.
I could have.
Ish.
I could have
Oh,
seen
I'm
it
kind,
coming.
I'm kind of a one-trick pony with that. I would have mixed it up a little bit
I
more.
was trying to come up with other ways because, me trying
the
to
mage
get
armor.
mage armor was
Yeah.
one. I wanted a faster reaction on the goblins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have tried to like sneak it, because the chimney goes up to where there's more of them, right?
Mhm.
So I would have snuck it there first, and then done the banging, running down, and brought all the goblins down behind, or something like that. And then left everybody to fight them, as like the rest of what you did. But that would have made it a more obviously your fault sabotage.
Right.
Right, so that would have been an approach I would have taken to that. That would have been more overt.
And that
Because
was
the rest of it looks like you're just going after your own thing first. Later, it's, yeah. But if you really want to sabotage, I think that would have gotten the most bang for your...
And that was my original plan until
Okay.
I realized that I had to, there was a chance that I would be able to be as fast as possible
Sure.
going up the chimney.
Sure.
So I figure, draw them to the chimney and get as loud as I possibly can,
Right.
and then exit retreat through the water.
Did you? It looks like you really enjoyed playing the saboteur.
I told you, it's dangerous with me because I'm a tactician. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
just where do I focus the tactics to?
All right, so we're gonna stop this stream, and then we'll be back at 1 p.m. Pacific time, which is just in about 45 minutes or so.
Yeah.
We'll be doing the unboxing of Call of Cthulhu 7th edition, the starter kit. So it'll be. I have not opened the box yet. I've with great difficulty resisted. I started to take the plastic off and went, oh wait, no, I gotta wait. And we will go through the introduction. I'll read it out loud. We'll do the solo adventure, and then the audience members, especially donors, can help make the decisions in that adventure. Even if they want to sabotage it, that's fine. We'll just try again.
Yeah.
So that's coming down. So who is planning to participate in that? You're not required to at all because you got a lot on your plate.
Yeah, I got one.
Understood. No problem.
I will see you.
Thanks for making it today.
Not a problem.
See you tomorrow.
Yes.
Have a good one.
Okay.
I can. I don't have anything.
It's up to you.
else.
Yeah, you're most welcome. Yeah, cool. All right.
I'm gonna go get lunch first.
Okay. If I gave you some cash, would you grab me something?
Sure.
All right.
I'm going to Taco Bell. So.
That's fine. Taco Bell works for me. Oh, let me stop the stream first. Anyway, we'll be back
Not sponsored.
about 45 minutes.